Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, December 16th, 2022, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $, ORION-NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Dallas Mavericks. Dame Dalla, Damian Lillard versus Luka Doncic. Live play-by-play reactions with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. So we're going to have tip-off here in about 5 minutes. I usually don't do too many NBA games throughout the year. Once the NFL and college football season is completely over, we'll transition into a few more. We've done 2 so far, so this will be number 3. This will be the second Blazer game that I've done prior to a Warriors game that I did earlier in the year. And anytime you get 2 of the top 10 players in the NBA, if you want to put Luka in the top 2, top 3, I don't blame you. If you don't want to put Dame in your top 5, he's at least a top 10 player in my eyes in the NBA, especially this season and every single season that he's been in the league. He's been dominant. And I don't really know if we're going to be able to win this game, but I'm hoping on the road we can find a way. Usually games that are at home here in Oregon will be on around 7:30. Since we're on the road, that's why we're actually starting this here at 5:30 Pacific time. And hopefully we can get a good performance out of Dame and Luka. I'm thinking Luka over 30. I'm hoping Dame over 30, and Anthony Simons hopefully can be the catalyst, and maybe he can be a guy that can give us 23 to 30 to kind of even things out. But Anthony Simons has proven to me he's better than CJ McCollum. And, when we first got him, I really wasn't too sure if he was going to be as good as CJ McCollum, but I think we're getting to a point now where we're starting to realize that he is the real deal, Holyfield. Ended up getting you guys a beautiful new background for the NBA games. And shout out to my boy Odin's son, even though I know he's not really an NBA guy. $20 dono on the Cash App before the stream even started. I appreciate you. I know you're not really big into the NBA, but you just want to be able to show some love. Bang, 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 bang. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. Odin's son, $20 dono before the stream even started. Appreciate you. It's been pretty rough for November and December, and anytime we can get it started off on a good note like that. And most people, if they don't really care about maybe the sport that I'm doing the stream on, they're just doing it based off the work ethic, the hard work, and just showing some love during the holiday season. So, man, you'd have no idea what this means. It means a lot, and that'll get us closer to our goal. And I'm ready for this matchup. Like I said, I'm not going to be watching too many NBA games when the NFL and when college football season is going. I did get a chance to watch both bowl games earlier this morning. And believe it or not, both of the bowl games actually ended up being pretty freaking good today. So we ended up doing the first game. I watched UTSA and Troy. But the first game I watched was UAB winning 24-20 over Miami of Ohio. Ben Roethlisberger's obviously old alma mater. And then we had number 25 UTSA lose 18-12 to number 24 Troy when Troy was down 12-0 and they had 18 unanswered. So not bad. I actually was kind of impressed with what I saw, because normally when you have bowl games that start off, it could be a little shaky. And like I said, I hope that it ends up being a pretty good game here today for us. Obviously on the NBA side, obviously with Dame and Luka. And then we'll go over Rampage, SmackDown. We'll go over a few other options as well. And we'll probably get into a little bit of food as well. So, and I'll wait for a few people to come through as we're doing the game. And I know not everyone really cares, necessarily about the NBA, but, your boy's got to hustle. Your boy's got to grind. So I got to make sure I'm doing my part. So appreciate you, Odin's son. And like I said, hopefully we'll get some people coming through and we can end up watching this game. Obviously, it's on Comcast Sportnet for us here in the Northwest on Root Sports. And we're going to be getting started here just shortly. Hope everyone is doing well. And we got a jam-packed weekend of 3 NFL games on Saturday, a bunch on Sunday. More than likely, I'll be doing just the Dolphins and the Bills, and then we'll end up doing a matchup where we'll probably end up doing the Commanders and the Giants on Sunday night. I know the Beavers bowl game is tomorrow in the morning around 11:30, and depending on what I end up doing tonight, that'll kind of decide if I end up doing that also or if I end up just watching it and taking it easy. So All right, baby, let's go. Okay, let's go. And we're about to get tip off here in just a few minutes. Yeah, Luka has been on a tear. All right, let me get the proper. There we go. Let's go. I'm ready. I am ready. And then we can go over some of the starting lineups. This is a first-time debut of my NBA studio. I usually have a MLB studio background. I got an MLB, I got an NFL, and I got an NBA, but I have not debuted this one until today. Sarah in the building, how are you? Hopefully we can get some people coming through. Thank you for liking and retweeting the stream on Twitter. And like I said, it's Dame and Luka. I'm not sure if you have Root Sports or you obviously have a link if you choose to watch the game with me. I know you're not really big into the NBA, but obviously we're going to have wrestling on as well. So you'll have Rampage, you're going to have SmackDown, and then we'll have some Blazers and Mavs, Dame versus Luka. And like I said, normally if this was going to be on a little bit later, I probably still would have done it. But I have a lot of friends here in Oregon. They're like, dude, you should do more Blazer games. And even though I filtered out 300 of my, Facebook supposed friends, I had 515 and I cut it down to 215. So, and I think that's a big part of why some of the views have been a little bit lower on some of the streams. I didn't really know if any of these people that were supposedly my friends were watching because they never comment and they never subscribe or donate. But apparently 1 out of every 3 people out of the dudes that I eliminated, from my Facebook watches the show, apparently. But they just don't want to support me. So deleted everybody on there. Now we got to, cut down to about 215 instead of 515. So less people spying on me and more people that actually can support your boys. So, and I'm definitely excited to see what we get tonight. 40, 36, 38, and 37, 151 in total points. Second in the NBA in the last 4 games. And yeah, Odin's son, he just sent me a message say, hey, this is just because. And I know he's not really a big NBA guy, but it really makes me feel good because, like I said, and I know how much of a struggle that it's been in November and December, and more so December. Like I said, this is the worst month that we've had all year, but I still have to have faith that we can have a good number. And all it takes is one person to make a difference, like Odin's son, and then get us on our way. So shout out to you, Odin. What's going on with you, Sarah? How are you feeling? Are you still sick? And anytime I have a chance to do an actual game, I'm going to lean towards that rather than just doing like a power rankings or, like I said, if I know people are going to show up, I'll do whatever they want, but it's been pretty challenging. So let's go over some of the starting lineups in today's game. Obviously a dynamic duo for Anthony Simons and Dame Dalla. Starting at point guard is Damian Lillard. At the 2 spot, Anthony Simons. At the 3, Josh Hart. At the 4, Jeremy Grant. And at the 5, we have Yusuf Nurkic. And then for the Dallas Mavericks, we have Luka Doncic, Spencer Dinwiddie, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, and Dwight Powell. And if anything needs to be changed on that route, we'll go there as well. So $20, let's get there. And hopefully we can get some people to show up. People always tell me, hey, you got to be doing more NBA, do some more NBA. Well, I got to be able to do games that I actually enjoy. Like I can actually get through a Blazer game. This is my hometown team. You know what I mean? But depending on the matchup, there's just some that are unwatchable for me, college basketball and NBA. But definitely when you have Dame and Luka, that's one of the probably 5 or 6 top matchups that I can easily do. So, well, I hope you feel better. And even if people don't give a shit about the NBA, hopefully they can come through and just hang out with us and we can get some more people in here and we can have a good time. And then, I'll eat some gummies and we'll see what happens. And hopefully we can get a good win with Dame.
The stage is set for Christmas Day, and the games will be hype. We have a show for you. A Christmas tradition like none other. With bright lights on Luka, he's sure to delight.
All right, just making sure I got everything situated here. Yeah, and I don't know if we're gonna. I'll probably watch that Oregon State versus Florida Gators. I'll probably watch that one. But I don't think we're going to end up doing the stream on it because it's going to be so early in the morning. And I mean, like I said, I got to be able to do things that are going to be smart for you and me based off the time that we're going to put in. So there wouldn't be any point of doing that. And then if we end up getting to like $5 or 10, it's just not going to be worth it. I mean, it is possible that if I do that game, maybe Mike or someone else shows up and we could get to 50 or 100, or a few other people, but I'm going to kind of play it by ear and just see kind of how I feel. And then if I, end up doing it and we don't get to a good number, at least I was able to watch the Beavers more than likely beat the Gators. It's two teams that I'm kind of interested in. And I am going to watch a good chunk of these 40 bowl games that are going to be on ESPN. I know that your Colts and Vikings, I'll probably just end up doing the Bills and the Dolphins at late at night. I'll probably just do that. Shep in the building. What to do? Hopefully we can get some more people to come in here. Everyone tells me, hey, do more NBA. And it just seems like the other NBA games that I've done, we've actually gotten a little bit, decent results, but of course I can't afford thumbnails. So I wasn't able to get a beautiful thumbnail from Johnny that could have attracted more people to come here and watch. If I was able to do that, I would have been able to get a Dame and a Luka, but shit has been really hard. It's been really rough. No lies, and we've been going through some crazy stuff, with people, people that are mentally in trouble. It gets me kind of, I don't know if people can fully appreciate everything that we do here on the channel, especially if people are on the cusp of maybe hurting themselves or doing something that they shouldn't do. I don't know how many hosts could get something alarming like yesterday that happened with Alan hopping in the stream and talking to us about how he was feeling. Most people would get very uncomfortable. Anytime people are thinking about hurting themselves or doing something that could not be even necessarily good for not only their life, but others. I know most hosts would back away from that and they kind of get uncomfortable, but I'm hoping Alan is okay. And I don't think we get enough credit here on everything that we do, talking about anything, NBA, MLB, NFL, wrestling, music, food, and then also the mental health. But I hope Alan is in a better spot because I would hate for him to do something that, he may regret. And that is big facts. And he's been going through a lot of deaths in the family. I think he's had 3 within the last 6 months. And then his dad just passed. Mom is sick. Grandma passed. Child passed. So I'm just hoping that he can keep it together, even if that means getting some mental help, because I don't want him to not be around anymore. Pretty serious subjects, and I hope that he gets the proper help that he needs. Shep is in the building. Sarah's in the building. And yeah, like I said, I'm not going to do every NBA game, but I will end up doing, I feel comfortable. I can do the live play-by-play for any sport, but I got to make sure I have like the Warriors, the Celtics, the Heat, the certain teams that I really enjoy watching. And obviously with Luka and Dame, I'm not sure if it gets any better than that. We got the 20 from Odin, and I don't even know if he's in the room. He just wanted to show some love. So 80 to go. And anytime I do NBA games, I do get a little skeptical, thinking like, okay, how many people are we going to actually get? Even if you don't give a shit about the NBA, I hope people understand, and most of the regulars do. No matter if I do NBA or a college football bowl game or NFL or even wrestling, that doesn't mean that's the only thing that we're going to be talking about throughout the whole stream. Oh my God, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. There we go. And that's what happens when you actually get people that care about you and love you. And, like I said, this has been the worst month that I've had full-time since starting full-time in January. Odin's son doesn't give a shit about basketball, did a $20 dono. And Shep, I'm telling you straight out, if it wasn't for you this month, I might not even be able to pay my rent, going into next month. Because like normally around this time, we're sitting, close to that, maybe $800 to $1,000 mark. And that's after YouTube has already taken out their share. So I've already made more than that since they take out like 30 to 35%. Sitting here today after YouTube took out their share, I don't even have enough money for rent yet. So, I mean, it's been very, very slim. And if it wasn't for your big, $500, $100, $300, $100, with all these donos, I don't even know what I would be able to do. So I appreciate you so much. And hopefully this can set an example for some of the other GOATs. Maybe eventually we can get Mr. Williams and maybe we'll get Cyber and Holly in a little bit more regularly. And maybe it'll give an opportunity for someone new to step up other than like a Mike, so that we can really help us get there. But even if we don't get anything else for the rest of this show, Shep definitely made up for it. So I wanted to shout you out, Ryan, for being a great person. I don't know you personally, but I'm glad to call you a real good friend and always staying positive. Just continue to grind. Keep your head up. Good things are coming your way because you're such a good person. And we will. And I appreciate you. $300, not one, Bill, not two, not three. And we will. Like I said, especially with the people that are GOATs, we're definitely going to be able to meet up. I appreciate you, and your generosity is unmatched. And trust me, if I was in the same position and we flip-flopped and you were streaming and I was doing the airport job and I was grinding like a motherfucker every day and I had a little bit of extra cash to go around, I definitely would be doing the same thing for you. I appreciate you more than words can explain. Bang, bang. $300 from my boy Shep. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Let's go. 3-0 Blazers. Jeremy Grant with the opening bucket. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. 24-foot 3-point jumper. Josh Hart with the assist. Let's go. And then obviously, since the score is going to be updated so much, I'll update it once we get to like a commercial, but we'll go through it. Nice jumper there. Dorian Finney-Smith with the defensive rebound. Then they got the nice little jumper there. 3-2 Blazers. Anthony Simons, I see you. Tim Hardaway Jr. with that jumper. 3-2 Rip City. Anthony Simons for three. In and out. Hardaway Jr. with the rebound down to Luka. Thank you so much, man. I mean, like I said, I don't. Sometimes it's just, I don't know who's going to show up or where it's going to go. And like I said, I just try to be a good person and just try to help people out. But I'll tell you what, that scenario that happened on yesterday's stream, if he was in here, was a little scary. Because anyone that you have in the stream that's a regular, if they have mental health issues or they're on the cusp of hurting themselves, that is not an easy thing to navigate. You have to be very careful on the words that you say and have to try to be a positive influence. But I think that I handled it perfectly, and I think the people in the room did their part as well, and I just hope that he'll be okay. Nice jumper there. And I know this game is going to obviously be up-tempo. Let's get it. Yeah, and like I said, I just wish we had more Sheps, because like I said, if YouTube isn't really, supporting me and getting the notifications out, how am I supposed to grow? How am I supposed to get more heavy hitters? How am I supposed to even just get more people? And I'm doing everything I can on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and it just seems like sometimes it's like, I'm never going to give up. But there are times where it definitely gets to me. You know what I mean? I've been working at this for like 10 years. This is my 6th year on YouTube. And I really haven't had a whole lot of growth in 4 years. Think about how many people that are on YouTube that put in all their blood, sweat, and tears. And if they haven't had any growth or minimal growth in 4 years, how many people would quit? Probably 99.9% of people, regardless of whatever your sub count was at before, YouTube cut you off or they started hating on you. So, a lot of times I don't think people realize the struggles that I go through and how much time and effort and energy I put in. But when you end up getting people like this that don't even give a shit about basketball and come in here just to support me because they know this month has been booty cheeks for me. It has not been good. It's been the worst month all year. And all I want to be able to do is just pay my rent and pay my bills and, hopefully be able to get some gifts back. But at this point, it's been so horrible, just being completely honest. I mean, I just got to be able to find a way to pay rent and bills, and hopefully we can get there. And obviously getting there with people like Odin Son with the 20, Shep with the 300. I appreciate you tremendously. Sarah with the tour. Appreciate you. Bang, 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 bang. Thank you. 8-4 Blazers. They got 9-4. Let's go. Thank you. Let me know what you guys want to do for pictures, and I'll take care of you. Damn right. And I need it, man, because like I said, we're not getting, that many people coming through the streams this month or even last month or really in general. Numbers are down. Donos are down. Views are down. Everything, is really, really hard. But like I said, I try to keep a positive influence. And like I said, how many people can even hit a good number with less than 20 people in the room? I mean, I'm one of the very, very few people that with under 20, under 10, under 5 sometimes, and we can still make it happen. So it really shows you it's more about the quality to the quantity. So appreciate you. Let me know, if you guys are watching SmackDown or AEW Rampage, if anything is going on. And then, yeah. And like I said, I mean, I'm never going to lie about things. When things are good, you guys are going to know it. People that are regulars are going to know if I'm lying about stuff, and I'm not lying. I'm always going to keep it 100. And sometimes it can get embarrassing, talking about how things are not ideal, but I figure it's better to be transparent and be honest and real than to, pretend like everything's okay when it's not. You know what I mean? So, Odin's son, Sarah, Shep, I couldn't ask for a better group of mods. The mod gang is real. And, I wouldn't be able to be doing this full time without the, probably 8 or 9 of you, because you guys are really the main people that are supporting me throughout this journey. The 8 or 9 mods, if it wasn't for you, I'd be fucked right now. So thank you guys. Albert Pujols. Okay. Shep, what do you want to see? Odin's son, what do you want to see for photos? Type in it could be wrestling related as well. Whatever you guys want. Nice job, Nurk. Just wanted to be able to have something fun in the background, and hopefully the Blazers can win this game. And, it really makes my heart feel good, when I have the support of something like this, because obviously Mr. Williams has got more things going on. So we haven't really seen him that much. And, we're not getting him, in the room anymore, really. So that's a person that normally would do like 50 to 100. That's no longer there. We don't have Cyber in the room every day or Holly in the room every day. That was usually about 50 to 100 on every show. Now it's, when they can. So, it really helps when you get people to do things like that and this. And thank you guys. I appreciate you. Let me know what you guys want for pictures, and I got you. There we go. 14-6. Dame Dollar with a 3. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. And I wanted to be able to debut this NBA studio because I have an MLB studio that I've debuted, and I have my NFL studio that I've upgraded over the couple years. And I like this one. This one's a nice, clean, bright look. And the next step is being able to see if I can use the scoreboard that I paid the big money for to Johnny. But like I said, in this platform with all the pictures and stuff, it's just not able to format correctly. Now, if I use another one, I can use a scoreboard, but then I'll have no ticker and no ability for pictures at all. So it's kind of like this catch-22, where it's like I can have this beautiful scoreboard, right? Or, and I don't even know the speed of the stream, because the reason why I stopped using the other platform through OBS is because it was glitching. And then even though I have fast internet, it wasn't really, it was like, being all glitchy. And I was like, no one's going to want to watch a stream that's glitchy, even if it looks good. So I had to make an option and a decision to switch. But the only thing that's really, my attention to detail is my beautiful scoreboard, but I can't get it to format on this platform. But maybe if I upgrade and pay more money, then it will give me the option to implement it at the top. So, because I'm doing kind of like their normal package, which is like 20, 30 a month. So I don't know if I have to do the one that costs like 50 or 40 or something. But if it allows me to use the scoreboard, I know that'll be able to grab more people, because obviously it's a beautiful scoreboard and I was barely able to use it. So 18-13 Blazers. Tim Hardaway Jr. hit him with the crossover in the hezzy. Bang! Nice 3. 18-16. Let me get some photos up for you guys. Some Chipper Jones and some Gary Sheffield. Okay, I got you. Looks good though, right? I mean, I have other things I can add to it. Like I could always add like the top right corner Nike with the NBA. Like I have a bunch, but I just figured it looks cleaner without it there. Sometimes I'll have my NWSF logo, but it's football related. So I can just keep it clean and, leave it. Like I'm a visual guy. And sometimes I know when things look good or if they just look kind of cluttered or if it doesn't look right. And that just didn't, it looks okay. I went through like 8 NBA logos, and I think this is the best one that I could find that had the Nike and the NBA symbol. And there was a few other ones. And then obviously this doesn't make any sense because I'm not doing football right now. So I usually try to cater to whatever sport I'm doing, NASCAR, MLB, so this was the best one that I could find. But I'm like, I don't need that. So let me get some photos up for you guys. Let me see here. I'm always trying to improve for you guys, no matter what. All right, let's get some Chipper Jones and some Gary Sheffield first, and then we'll get some for Sarah as well. All right, one sec here. All right, let me do Albert Pujols for Sarah first.
What does 1800 tequila taste like?
And I'll get all three of you.
Tastes like victory. 1800, the world's most awarded tequila.
Yeah, but I can't lie, man. It's a struggle and a grind. And like I said, when I eventually when I had my original platform, I liked that, but I was able to end up doing other photos and the ticker. Like I kind of prefer this one better, just so that way we can actually make it more interactive for the fans. Because if I end up doing a stream like everyone else does, and all you're doing is just looking at the nice scoreboard and then that's it. That looks nice and all, but I guess it just depends if you only want the scoreboard or if you want to be able to see things above and beyond that you're not seeing on any other stream. So probably end up doing this particular one, and we'll see if we can figure it out. But let's see here. We'll get you a couple nice Albert Pujols photos. I mean, it just takes it to another level. And like I said, everyone does their streams a little bit, differently. Everyone's got their own kind of method to the madness. And everyone uses different platforms as well. Appreciate you. Get you a couple Alberts there. And I'll get you a nice picture there for you, Odin, in a second. And then let me see. Yeah, send me the pictures send those to me in a message there so I can look at them. You want some Tatum and Jaylen Brown instead? I'll give you all four. I mean, shit, for your kind of donos that you give me, I'd be here for 4 hours just taking care of you. So let's do the basketball ones first, and then I'll get you some of those baseball ones. You just let me know what you want to see while you're here, and I'll take care of you, man. Anyone that's willing to support me, I'm willing to go, balls to the wall and take care of you in any way I can. Just, that's what it's about. 21-16, Blazers. Luka with the free throw, 21-17 in the first quarter, 5:47 left. Tatum has been playing fucking some great basketball this year, too. (21-18) Blazers. Dame for three, foul, and one. Let's go. Dame Dalla with the triple. Rip City, 24-18, and one, baby. Let's go. Look at this one. Woo! Tatum on LeBron? I do like Jaylen Brown, too. You guys were just a little outmatched in the finals, but you can tell you guys are coming, It's a matter of time. (25-18). Luka at the top of the key, guarded by Yusuf Nurkic. Good ball movement by the Mavs. In and out. Let's go, Dame. 25-18 Blazers. Come on, Dame. Heat check. In and out. Damn it. What time do you got to go to work? You got work in a couple hours? Luka fouled going to the line. 25-18 Blazers. Nine. 9 o'clock Pacific. And you want to see Gary Sheffield? What team do you want to see the Gary Sheffield photo in? Let me know what you want to see there. And I got you. 25-19 Blazers. Luka at the line. Yeah, 5:55. So yeah, okay, cool. I love it when you're actually here. I mean, regardless if you can afford to donate or not, just having you in the room, it like is kind of like having Holly or one of the other goats. It's like you always have something to say. You're always going to keep the conversation moving. And some of the mods are a little bit more quiet than others. Some are a little bit more interactive and a little bit more, where we can kind of talk about anything and there's no like dead spots. I mean, of course you can watch me react and call a game or pull up photos or whatever, but awesome. I'm really glad that you're here. And I really appreciate everything that you do for me, man. And we definitely will link up. There's a few people, Odin's son, Sarah, there, Holly, there will be a few, you, Shep, Chief, there's going to be a few where we'll do some kind of meet and greet, or even if I fly out there, we'll figure it out when my money's right. And, it'll be a fun time. So Nurk, there we go. Nice bucket by Nurk. Let's go, baby. It's crazy. So I'm watching the game on Root Sports, and I got the ESPN app, like the website on the computer, and the score, the tape on, what is supposed to be live here for me in Oregon, because I'm watching it on Root Sports, which is cable. That's like immediate feed. I'm not watching it on a stream. And the score was 29-24, but the game I'm watching, it was 29-21, and it was like a minute slow, like almost like I'm watching it on one of the streams. I was like, what the fuck? But I guess ESPN has, I guess they have it, the actual, whoever is controlling the ESPN website has it actually live, because it ends up updating the score before I actually see it here, which is kind of weird. It normally doesn't do that. Mike is in the building. How are you? Okay, I figured you wanted Gary and the Braves. How are you, Mike? I mean, like I said, other people could have 40 people in the room and have a bunch of chaos, but I can have under 10. But if all of them are mods, or if everyone is cool, I'm going to have a fantastic time regardless of the amount. Dame for 3. Sheffield, baby. I'm going to try to get some different ones. I mean, I remember the rookie card with the braces on the Brewers. I had a bunch of them. Oh, we have an injury. I think Luka went down. Uh-oh. Damn, Luka is still on the ground. Now he just got up. And I'll probably find some photos because he wasn't there that won't fit. There'll be awkward sizes every once in a while. But yeah, it's nice for me to be able to see it too. Because when's the last time I seen a fucking Gary Sheffield and anything? I mean, I think we did talk about him on maybe a couple weeks ago, and it was probably you that brought him up more than likely. So it's always cool to be able to see some things that maybe you normally don't see. But of course, I'll be able to find it. And then that every kid in the backyard imitated Gary Sheffield. If you were a lefty, it was Griffey. But if you were a righty, and even if you didn't think Gary Sheffield was like the best player in baseball, everyone did the Sheffield wiggle. It was like the cool thing to do, but most people couldn't do it correctly or even hit with power because no one really wiggles the bat that much. He was like the only one that was really that crazy with it. So hope you appreciated those. And like I said, we'll keep continuing to throw up some photos here. I got a special one for Odin's son that we're going to do. And we did a little bit for Sarah. And then what was the other one that you wanted? You wanted Gary Sheffield. And let me scroll up. And Chipper Jones. Great choice. All right. And you know me, man. Like if I have a chance to look at photos, of course I want to see stuff from like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. I would prefer to look at older photos than newer. Unless it's like some insane, home run robbery or crazy ass dunk over 3 people or some one-handed Odell Beckham catch, then yeah, of course I want to see that. So. All right, let me delete some of these other photos to make room for some more for you. 32-28 Blazers.
Going into the timeout, Luka Doncic was red hot at no call as they go down in the trenches where anything could happen. He got a hit from Winslow to the side of the mouth, and then he comes over to the officials and starts chirping. Sometimes he can get distracted. They look to the advantage of the Blazers. Corey Jez joins us here tonight with a look at usage.
Chipper, baby.
Great usage is great responsibility. Exactly right, Kevin. You mentioned it at the beginning. And usage has some underlying numbers to it as well. Which players use the possession? That means take the shot or turn the ball over. Luka is number one among all players in the league, doing that 42% of their possessions as we
I got some Chipper Jones rookie cards back at my house, back in my childhood house. I still have all my binders and everything in there. But I know I have a few Chipper Jones rookie cards. Some of them are, if you have them in good condition, graded, that's where some really good money is. But if it's just like a regular card, that's, normally a card out of a pack is like an 8. If it's like near mint, really good condition, a 9, and then gem mint 10 is like super rare. But that's when you can get like a $10 card if it's a PSA 10. That $10 card in a near mint 8 could go all the way up to 100 to like 1,000, depending on the rarity and how many 10s there are. So, yes. And Mike always knows the extra information. And you guys both like the Braves, so you guys have that in common too. 32-28. Plus, I'd rather put up pictures than have to actually call every single pass. It's like almost with like basketball, you almost need like 2 people with it. Like you can do it by yourself, but I mean, like baseball also, there's a reason why there's like 2 or 3 people. Things are just so fast. Here we go. Come on, Blazers. Simons kicks it out. Damn it. 32-28. Yeah, but I'd rather just put up pictures and we can just vibe. You're always going to get that one, irate new person that doesn't give a shit about the channel and complains that, we're not calling every single play. Or some little kid that just goes fucking crazy. All right, then we got to throw something up for Odin's son. I will check, and there's many things that I can put up. I'm going to pull up a couple, even if he's not here anymore. I want to just go over some of the things that I know that he loves, and I know he loves Bray Wyatt, like true and true. So we'll do that. And I know he loves Notre Dame, so I'm going to hit him with a Jerome Bettis old school photo. So we'll take care of him here in that way. So we want just covering all the bases. And I know that one of his favorite players is the Oregon alum, J.J. Burden, which is not everyone's necessarily favorite player, but he actually is one of the most interactive former Oregon Ducks and Kansas City Chief members on Twitter. So it's like if you're a Chief Kingdom member and, if you follow JJ will probably follow you back. And he interacts with the fans, which is something that most NFL players, past or present, don't do unless they're responding to someone heckling or being an asshole to them. And then they'll have some fucked up response like Lamar. 32-31, end of the first quarter. But we'll throw up a little JJ Burden. Oh, nice. And then we'll go with a couple Chiefs from my boy, because I know how much he loves the Chiefs.
More service than selling. More helping hand than just handshakes. More confidence than computer plays. And for decades,
and I know he is and this is the kind of stuff that I take a lot of pride in too, is that I don't have to remember anything about anybody, but it kind of makes it nice. So you guys, I've opened up and pretty much told you everything about me and my life and what's going on. And I know some people would never dare do that. They're just too insecure with themselves, or if they're fake, they don't want to have to make up stories, I guess, on, faking people out. But it's always nice to be able to get to know people and know what their favorites are. And I know he loves horror, like loves it. So I'm going to try to get a nice horror collage. I mean, you guys, just knowing, getting to know you guys and what you like and what you don't like. And, especially from the people that are, the mod gang, I don't know if anyone else's mod gang is that tight. Everyone that has a mod gang is going to be tight with them, but I don't know, man. Like I think certain channels are a little bit more family than others.
Keep drivers and backseat drivers safe with Lifestyle tires. Season the gift presented by Chase Freedom. How do you cash back? Take a look at the Pacific Office Automation here tonight from Dallas. Blazers off to a hot shooting start. 12 of 24 from the field, 4 tips, 3. Dallas 11 of 21 from the field, 4 9 in 3-point range. Blazers outscored the Mavericks 12-8 points. However, Blazers turned it over 4 times.
32-31 Blazers on the road. Oh, and I definitely got to do the Freddy Krueger if we're doing this. I have to do it correct.
Justice was such an underrated thing. The Blazers were in a zone. Shayden jumped to the ball on the pass, so now there's basically 3 Mavericks to the left of that and 2 defenders. So when that ball got rotated back, Jeremy had to take the top, and then Justice was stuck in a tough position, and it required him to get a hand or a foot on that ball to stop the 3 at a time before, unfortunately, Dallas makes up for that play against their 3 here. But that's just those are the kind of plays Justice always makes, those high IQ plays.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you. Mike is getting in on the dono train. And I'm glad that you guys showed up, because I remember last Friday, I went for 2 hours and it was just, there was like nobody nobody here. So I was like, damn, I normally go for like 3 or 4 hours, but I just didn't want to have Sarah be miserable if it's just like me and her or like 1 or 2 other people. And I'm just sitting in here I ended up shutting it down last Friday after like 2 hours. I think we were at like $5. I was like, well, I guess you're going to have to take your L once in a while, but at least the Blazer game is on. So I know I'm going to be able to, enjoy that, and I can hang out with you guys. And it looks like maybe starting a little bit earlier was better too, because and also my girlfriend's daughter has winter break. So that's 2 weeks off. So I'll be able to record super late now. If I decide to go like late, like we used to, I can probably go down that path if we need to. And then also the girlfriend has a week off. She had to use PTO for the paid time off and had so much time that she only can carry over like 60 some hours. And she already had like another 60 or something on top of that. So she's taking all week off, which means with these bowl games and these other things, I can record in the morning. I could do an upload if I choose to. We could do a live stream in the morning. We could do live stream in the afternoon. I can live stream at night. So there's going to be a little bit more flexibility, and hopefully that'll help us eventually get to our number and even out from this difficult month. Last 2 months have been actually very difficult, but this month we're pacing to like probably have the worst month of the year. But when you have guys like Shep doing 500 and 100, 200, and really holding it down, we're hopefully going to get closer to having it be better than where we were sitting. And if it wasn't for Shep single-handedly, we'd be in the gutter right now. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, and also people like Mike and Sarah and everyone in the room doing big things for your boy. Bang bang, boom boom, bang bang. I mean, how many other people on YouTube? Bang bang. Can have 9 people in the room and be at almost 400. I mean, we're talking about nobody. That shows how special you guys are. So you guys are incredible. I appreciate you. Let me know what you want to see, Mike, for photos. I got you. And obviously I have to make sure that if Odin's son comes back, if he's watching wrestling or not, I want to make sure that, you got to be able to know your people. Do you know your people? People say that they're friends with people, but do you actually listen? Do you actually know who your friends' favorite things are? And you can definitely tell that we care about it here. 38-34 Mavericks. They must have done some PEDs while I was looking away. Is Luka on the floor? Nope. So we got to be able to take advantage here. A lot of the bench guys are in for both teams. Fuck. 41-38. Big three. Motherfucker. O-Dog, not happy. Oh, yeah. I'm going to do that, too. The Freddie stuff is badass, though. I think Freddie's pictures are some of the best on the internet. Like, I'll show you, like, everything that you see with Freddie. Like, you can get Jason, but just the, like, articulate HD 4K up close of Freddie, it, like, I don't know, man. Like, the Jason stuff is cool, but I don't know. The skin, maybe it's the skin for me, and just the attention to detail, the teeth and the ears and the eyes and the, come on, man, So the OG Candyman. OG.
Health insurance can be complicated. Choosing your health insurance is better when you have a guide. Moda Health provides high-quality individual and family health insurance with access to local trusted doctors. Got health goals? We've got perks, programs, and tools.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking, too, I'm never opposed to having the goats, if they want to hop on the stream and if you want to hang out. I know most hosts are, petty and fickle, and they make promises and they back out. You know what I mean? So, it'll depend on how I feel and what I'm doing, but I'm always willing to let, even people that aren't mods, if they're pretty close to me, that, you want to hop on a little bit and say hello to the people and let them see what you look like and, talk about whatever, because like I said, because if that's what it's going to take to be able to additionally get more people to maybe share the content because they're on it, we got to be able to find a way to be able to get these last like 180. Like, it shouldn't take 6 months to a year to get something as low as like 200 subs or less. But as I know how YouTube is and how people are fickle with their subs, and they sub to someone, they take it away. But yeah, I'm definitely open to the fact of every once in a while, you can send me a message. If you have the proper setup with a microphone and you want to be able to hop on, you can message me and then I can send the link, and then maybe we can. I think I can have like 7 or fucking 8 people on here at once. It's probably not going to be something I'm going to do like every show, but I'm always down to to be able to broaden the brand, and I'm definitely not ashamed of you guys. You guys are everything, so it'd be cool to be able to have a conversation with a few of you as well. So. Obviously, you guys have seen Birdman, but that's really the only person that I've had on so far. Oh, man, I know you like that, Shep. Oh, shit. Miss Dunk. 41-34. Mavs are up. Blazers were in control. But you know what's in control now? Candyman, bitch. I don't know what's going on, bro. Absolutely, I got you. Let me know what you want to see, Mike. I got you. You want some NASCAR? I got you. You're not the only one that's like this. I'm itching, man. Right. I'm old school though, so it's like for me, like the newer stuff is like cool. If you like that type of stuff, I'm not like 100% into horror. My girlfriend and a lot of my friends like love this shit. For me, it fucks with my mental health. I'm not saying that if I watch this type of stuff, like, oh my God, I'm gonna have tendencies to try to do some of these things that I'm watching in these movies. But I just honestly feel with the psychology of things and my ESP, the more dark shit that you watch on the internet or on TV or movies, the more dark of an individual you become. Because if you actually enjoy seeing people get slashed up and stuff, I'm not really sure if that's necessarily like, it can be entertainment, but to really like thirst for it and like, like look forward to seeing that, I think that's where you start to get the birth of the crazies that are out there, and sometimes people that act on stuff that they see. But I don't know. For me, it's like, it can be entertainment, and some people like a psychological thriller, or actually seeing people getting, chased and attacked and slashed up, obviously in the movies. But the horror slashes. But it's not really. I'm more of a action, guy, and comedy. I love to laugh. Comedy is usually number one for me. I love the sarcasm and just like the good stuff, but I can always do a really good action or sci-fi, type of movie. I'm really into Marvel and Star Wars. Ooh, and one for Mavericks. Wow. So there's a nerd in me as well. I collect toys. I like cartoons. I watch cartoons every day for like 2 hours a day. I know, most 40-year-old men probably don't necessarily do that, but I'm not like ashamed to say that I watch it. It's really good for my mental health. Like if I can go back and watch 80s cartoons of Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Turtles, and that makes me feel like good about myself and I can laugh. And then I can go to Simpsons, King of the Hill, Rick and Morty, and have something current, or regular show, or South Park or Family Guy, and it makes me laugh. Fuck it, Of course, I'm going to do my history, discovery, Nat Geo shit. I love that. And I always like good sitcoms too. But I'm a man of, I'm a simple guy, but I like a lot of different things. Ooh, nice layup by Dame Dalla. Let's go. Now we're only down by 10, 46-36. Come on, baby. But yeah, this is obviously a good character. But I think if you compare Pennywise to this, I don't think it's even close. I don't know. Let me know, bro. And especially when it's like Halloween and they do like all the like Freeform. Like I watch a lot of different networks and stuff, and then they'll do like fucking scary movie after scary movie, kind of like when they do the Star Wars marathon, like every once a month on TBS or TNT. It's like boom, you got one, and then boom, another movie, and then they do it like all 4 or 5 movies in a row. I love that shit. Yes. So that's why I always love you guys too, because you never know what the fuck we're going to talk about. And if I pull up a photo, then you could always spark another conversation of things that we like or don't like. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what it would look like. I would assume it's going to be probably you're going to want a computer for it to, I don't know what the quality of your phone is or what it would look like. But hell, I wouldn't be opposed to someone hopping on, but it probably would be better, at least visually, probably from a computer for most people, I would assume. So, what's up, dog? What's good, Finley? My boy, Finley. My boy, David. Fly, Eagles, fly. Yeah, I don't know. I just think I got to this point and I'm like, I think a lot of us sometimes get, and this is just me being fucking 100% real. And you guys know I will say things that other people are thinking, but they won't say. But I don't know. It's just like, I think when I just get to that point, when I watch too many like uncomfortable things or like people are passing or you're seeing that, it's just like, it gets to me a little bit like, I after a while, or if it ends up being like those like psychological thrillers and stuff, like after a while, if you watch that shit for like, I don't know, I think like a movie is one thing, but if you're watching it like all day and you're doing like 8 hours straight of seeing that, or watching a show and they're doing like episode after episode and you're watching it on Netflix and it's like 8 in a row, I don't know if that's really healthy, especially if you have mental health issues and you're kind of fragile as it is and you're going through the ups and the downs. I just really can't see how that's going to make things better. It's like you're already fucking depressed and you're just seeing people get fucking offed and maybe not in the most glorious way. And then like I said, there's entertainment, but I feel that like if you already have mental health issues and you do, you're not in denial, like you need help, you're not 100, and you need to be able to like walk like I do and spend time with Paisley and watch the cartoons and hang out with you guys to make sure that if I feel like I'm going down that path, that I can make sure I'm going to hang out with people that are going to get me there, because no matter what someone looks like on screen or in person, that doesn't mean they're not struggling inside. A great example, look at Twitch. Look at the boss, the guy that danced on the Ellen show, the brother. I mean, the guy's only 40 fucking years old, got 3 kids. I think he had maybe another kid on the way. You know what I mean? Like, if you've seen that guy on social media or ever watched Ellen before, which I have, right? I mean, he was always the guy doing the dancing and, and Ellen was dancing. He was dancing, and like, you just, I know Justin Timberlake and a lot of celebrities have known this guy for like 20, 25 years, through, dancing and, being a background dancer or being in the mix with people that, do concerts and whatnot and being on TV and being friends with celebrities and whatnot. I don't think anyone necessarily saw like that coming, but it shows you just because you put a smile on your face on your TikTok or your Instagram or your Twitter or your YouTube or your Twitch, and you're doing things and you're looking happy, you may have some demons inside, and maybe even the people that you live with don't even know about it either. So I think that, like I said, when we had Alan come in yesterday, that was kind of a scary situation, I think, for some of you guys, and of course, you have to be very careful on what you say, and we want to make sure that we're saving lives here and improving lives, not having people consider not being here, which is something I would definitely not want. 55-44, Dame for 3 in and out, 5:33 left. Well, come on, guys, let's go, baby. Yeah, but I just think watching a little bit too much is like not healthy. I mean, if you're like, okay, I'm gonna kind of, do like a rewind. Okay. So if your mental health is 100% fantastic, you've never had depression or anxiety, and you like watching like those type of things, you're good. You're good. I just think it's for the people that have gone through a lot of death or drama or trauma. And if you're already kind of shaky, just watching a lot of that, I don't think is good. It's better to watch uplifting things like comedies. I should know from experience because I've been in the gutter before, and also action. So, or like sci-fi or mystery, something that's going to be a little bit more upbeat, even if it's like a rom-com or whatever, but just, whatever it ends up being. But I just feel like the dark shit, if you're not in a good headspace, after 3 hours, I start feeling like different. Not like I'm going to act and do like a crime or do something bad, but I just feel like my chi and my vibe is off. Like I'm just a little bit more like edgy, you know what I mean? And like, just like the thoughts going in my brain of what I just like saw, like, even though you think, oh, it's staged, it's fake, or if it's based on a true story, but like, you guys have seen some of the things on the internet or like in movies, some of the shit is like way too graphic for me. Like, you know what I mean? And like, once you see, certain things, you can't really go back. You see it and you don't really like erase it completely from your memory. At least that's me. Or those the death movies that you could watch when you were a kid. What are the name of those? And then obviously with those, I mean, got to be very careful with things. But yeah, I think, like I said, with as far as scary movies are concerned, I feel that, yeah, only in like a little bit here, a little bit there type of situation. So, Alan, my boy, how are you? I love you. Appreciate you. And like I said, I hope that, if you ended up contacting somebody, or if it's on your mind, like I got to schedule an appointment, like I got to get some, some assistance. So I hope you ended up making that call yesterday, or you did today. And then, like I said, once everything is 100, we'll watch Cowboy games together through and through until we get to the playoffs and whatnot. So, all right, no worries, bro. Let's throw up some photos for Alan, huh? Alan, we're going to throw up some Dallas Cowboys stuff for you. I think that would be good, huh? I know we started to do it a little bit yesterday.
It may sound cheesy, but we like it that way. What's in your wallet? Take a picture. What's that? New iPhone? Yep, I just got the new iPhone 14 with this amazing camera at T-Mobile. Wow. For a limited time at T-Mobile, get 4 iPhone 14s on us and 4 new lines for $45 a line.
And then if you got any favorite Cowboy players, Alan, of all time, like the Emmets and the Aikmans and the Irvin, of course, I know you love those. Like I grew up with those players as well. But if you got anyone else like Leon Lett, or something like that, let me know and I'll throw that up for you, bro. Nice. You know what? Jumanji is money. I feel that like with Jumanji, you can watch the old one, like Robin Williams, or you can watch those ones, and those are good to watch, man. Those are certain things that you just got to be able to find, yourself, center yourself, and find that what works. And there you go, man. And stuff that's uplifting like that, much better for the vibe. 100%. You got it, brother. I'm going to try to find some really cool Cowboy stuff here for you. 57-47 Mavericks. Blazers down by 10. Dame versus Luka. Dame for 3. In and out. Offensive rebound and 1. Is that Josh Hart? Woo! Let's go. Prime time. Prime time. Prime time. For my boy Allen. And I know you feel the love and support. I mean, not only from me, but from the room. And, I'll always be here for you, bro. Even when things look grim and dark, even if you feel there's, you got no one that's got your back, regardless girlfriend situation or, other friends that you have there that are in person, you can always message. I will always message back, bro. I am kind of excited to see what he does for Colorado. I think Colorado will go from the worst team in the Pac-12 probably to the middle, and it'll be based off Deion's recruiting and his son playing there. And if he doesn't get fired after like 3 years, who knows? Maybe that turns into something. like where they end up being, a top 3 or 4 in the Pac-12, possibly. I mean, UCLA and USC are leaving soon, so. Luka dishes outside. 3 is missed. Josh Hart with the board. 57-51 Mavericks. Come on, Blazers. Hart all the way. Let's go. Nice layup. 57-53 Dallas. Let's go. Nice old Michael Irvin. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, I'll throw some up for you and your dad. I'll do it. I'll do Roger Staubach and we'll do some Landry. Absolutely. I think everyone to a certain degree has some type, of mental health. Like some people have it worse than others. Some people get over it. Some people it sticks with them. But it all depends on what you like. But I don't think, I'm not saying that horror stuff and like with the horror and the metal is bad. I don't think it is. I just think that with like the music part, you can listen to screamer, music, and that isn't, it's a part of expressing yourself. I just think when you're starting to see like the death and the graphic death and the dark psychological shit, or like the shit where stuff is like people are getting offed, seeing too much of that is, I think is not healthy when you're not in a good headspace. If you're in a good headspace and it's just entertainment to you, then yeah, go right ahead. Fuck, you want to watch 12 fucking thriller slashers in a row. But I just feel from my personal experiences when I watch too much of like the paranormal, more like psychological, not really paranormal stuff, but like it's more, the close-up shit of that stuff, and a little too much for me. So I think like, yeah, comedies and action is usually the way to go. Sports, cartoons for me is like huge, especially, and watching stuff from my childhood. That's the number one thing that cures it all. Water, I think that really helps. And the visuals, I like watching like the Alaska programs and the programs that are on the water, from like me being a crawdad king, back when I was at my first job at 12. So when I watch Swamp People and Life Below Zero and those type of shows, Wicked Tuna, I love that shit. I mean, I can watch those shows, and I have been watching those since like the beginning. And it's not necessarily just about getting the tunas or killing the gators, or it's more of like how the people like interact with each other and like the love and the bond and the grind. Those are the type of things that I look for. The different personalities too. 61-58 Mavericks, because anyone that tells you doing that fishing and crabbing and doing the Swamp People thing is easy, you haven't watched the fucking show. And you obviously know that those people have to be a little crazy and have to have a lot of courage to do what they do too. A lot of hard work, and I respect that shit like a lot. And that's why I try to be like not only an inspiration, but also to show like, okay, work ethic is one thing, but like a lot of the things that everyone that deals with on an everyday basis, like maybe some hosts wouldn't ever bring it up because they don't want to expose that part of them to other people. But I feel like if I can just be 100% transparent on every stream that I do, and just be myself and be honest, that I know a lot of people that are going through the same thing. And obviously some people will tell me that they're having issues, even if I ever did. Like, it just depends. I think it's just like an aura and a vibe. You either feel comfortable or you don't, and I've had that, I think, pretty much my whole life. It's pretty easy when I meet someone for them to open up. And sometimes people will, tell me, like some of their deepest stuff, like, in their life, secrets or stuff, and I've only met them after like 30 minutes of just talking to them at like a party or, and then all of a sudden they're just like, I don't know, maybe they can just feel like I'm different or something. But yeah, it's kind of an honor, for people to be able to open up. And I usually tell people like, thank you for, having the courage and believing in me enough for you to expose, the, being real, and takes a lot of courage. And I usually say that to them. And most people don't say that also. So that's also another reason, if you actually show the gratitude and, show that you actually understand and you're trying to connect with people. But it does freak people out though. Someone that's known someone for like 20 years is at the party. I talked to someone for 30 minutes and I'm closer to that person than that friend was for 20 years. Just because you've been friends with someone for 20 years doesn't mean they really know you. Maybe it's just like a weed buddy or drinking buddy or, you acquaintance. Just because you've known someone for that long doesn't mean you've actually got to know them. Emmett's a G. 66-62 Mavericks. 108 left before halftime. This is the Aikman that I like, the one that was on the field. Even though I was a Niner kid growing up, I mean, you had the respect for that squad. Really, I mean, if you're talking about all-time Cowboy, even though the old school teams, I think the 92, 93, 95, that was the best of all time for them. Like they had other Super Bowl winners in the past and, they have some history back in the day with other quarterbacks. But as far as having like the big three, having Aikman and Irvin, I mean, like you don't replicate this. It just, you know what I'm saying? And then you have not only a top receiver with Jerry Rice, a top running back with Barry Sanders, a top 5 quarterback with Montana and Marino and Elway and a few others. But then the X factor was right here. It's like if you had this, right, you were winning the Super Bowl. So as soon as he left in 94, I knew in 95 they were going to win 100%. Because if he would have stayed in San Fran would have won in 94 and 95. And maybe I'm a San Fran fan, but he left. And then I said, well, if he would have stayed, because I was a defensive guy and they didn't really have what I was, wanting. And then I was like, well, oh, look at this. And then once this happened, then I was like, well, it's a done deal. These are exactly who embody who I am, like personality wise and just the effort and the GOAT and just, the best at their positions in the same draft. And it's arguably known as one of the best first round drafts ever besides Jonathan Ogden and Ray Lewis. And those two guys ended up being Hall of Famers also. But to get 2 Hall of Famers in one draft in the first round, yeah. And this is, John Lynch was already there. I was like, who do the Niners have? They don't got anybody. I was like, Merton Hanks was cool, but I mean, I just wasn't going to accept a team with like 5 championships and I'm 12 years old. And I'm like, oh, look at me. Here's my team, 5 championships. And it's like, I don't know. I just knew as I got older, I had a feeling and I said to myself, the Niners aren't going to win another championship in a long time. I just knew it. I was like, if Joe Montana or Steve Young is not there, who the fuck is going to get them there? And if they don't have Bill Walsh or, George Seifert, I was like, I knew. So I was like, well, I'm going to wait one more year before claiming the Niners as my team. And then the Tampa Bay thing and the Florida Gators and, the U with Sapp and, Lynch was there, Allstott. I was like, yes. I was like, Allstott is who I am. Like Mike Allstott is like personifies like my personality. Like if I was like a running back, like, that would be the one, Barry Sanders, Bo Jackson. Yeah. But Mike Allstott, that's like exactly what I love seeing, guys that could be versatile, that have power and that can run over 8 guys. Mike Allstotts don't exist anymore. And then you got the Sapp and the Brooks and the Lynch, Rondé Barber, Simeon Rice. I mean, to this day, I mean, it makes me almost giddy thinking that, to think we had like 4, 5 almost Hall of Famers on that defense, 6 on the team, 5 or 6, pretty impressive, and that's why you end up winning a Super Bowl, especially if you have 4 or 5. I mean, we talk about 4 or 5 all pro or 4 or 5 pro bowlers, but imagine having 4 or 5 Hall of Famers on one side of the ball. I mean, there's a reason why the Ravens were the 2000 Ravens, the 2002 Bucks were the 2002 Bucks, and the 85 Bears were the 85 Bears. Richard Dent, I mean, Mike Singletary, Refrigerator Perry, Jim McMahon with the headband.
defense for him. He's not very concerned with the primary defender, even though that primary defender, again, is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league in Finney Smith.
Yeah. But that's all I'm saying. I mean, like, I think some people love it. And it's like, you know, you can be okay here and just love those type. I mean, some people, I think it's just like, it's like who you watch them with. And if you had a good experience when you were younger, did you get freaked out? Or did you kind of like laugh and enjoy it? And like, I think people that also like horror stuff, the people that I've met, they love roller coasters and they love the thrill. You know what I mean? Like, you know, almost every person, and I don't know how I put those two and two together, but that type of personality that likes the roller coasters and likes that type of thing usually kind of gravitates towards, you know, the horror stuff from what I've seen, at least people that I've met. And maybe not every single person likes both, but a lot of the people that I've met, they have that thrill aspect. I think that they're just on their, you know, their heels all the time, and they like that. For me, I like more energy, like going to a football game or going to like a wrestling match and then feeling that type of energy and the crowd. I like that type of energy. So Danny in the building. What to do? Let's see if I go some Roger Staubach. We can get some old school here. Yeah, and like I said, anyone that's going through a tough time, I will always go out of my way. I mean, I don't call myself a mental health advocate, you know, on my social media platforms for no reason. It's not like I'm doing that for clout or anything. It's like I'm just trying to be like a Dr. O, where I can fucking be here, you know, because sometimes, you know, just getting a little, you know, words of reassurance and just being around people that are positive can really make a difference, you know. Could be in a shitty place, right? And then all of a sudden you come here, and instead of being like shitty, maybe it goes from shitty to bad or shitty to better, you know, or shitty to good. You never know, you know. I mean, the way that, you know, I can do the photos here, I mean, I feel I can definitely change people's mood. I mean, if I had access to do like anything I wanted, like if I had access to clips of anything where I could put up anything and there's no restrictions, like, you know, if I get partnered up with other people and they allow me to have access to anything I need, then I could take this even to a whole nother level. And, you know, because I'm already producing the show on the fly. But it's just nice to be able to, you know, have that visual with the conversation that we're having. And I'm really glad that with the direction of the channel has gone this way. So, you know what? A lot of people have said, you know, like if I didn't go down this path, you know, Big Brother program, you know, Big Brother, Big Sister, counselor, you know, social worker, therapist, you know, people to specialize in, you know, mental health and, yeah, I a counselor. I definitely think, you know, because I feel like I can kind of connect to people just with my empathy and sympathy. And I feel with like kind of my female brain that I have more empathy and sympathy, but I feel like my connection, I don't have to necessarily have a fucking PhD to go above and beyond. I feel like the things that I've said and with the ESP and also just, you know, kind of having that type of vibe. Yeah, I mean, at some point we're probably going to end up having a show. It'll be Dr. O, and then it'll be like a separate channel. Either I do gaming or I do, you know, that, and obviously doing retro gaming like Super Nintendo, Sega, Nintendo, or even current stuff would be very cool. And I know people would watch me because, I mean, you got to think, I mean, I am half Asian, remember? So it's like I played video games like, you know, traditional Asian would, you know, like all the systems, go to friend's house, you know, hide the system in the dark and stuff and leave it on overnight because you couldn't save Nintendo games and hope that your mom or dad didn't catch you. You know, but yeah. And, you know, like at some point, you know, if we get to a point where people are having an issue and they, you know, I do that on the show and then I can bring up photos to increase, you know, mental health and serotonin levels and make them go up. And, you know, people ask a question, maybe they send a donation, you know, $5, here's my problem. Boom. I tell you what I feel, you know, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I'll just listen and, you know, and kind of give you my 2 cents. And that's what most people want, you know, and maybe that ends up being another part of the legacy. Because I've had a lot of people mention that as well, you know, obviously making beats, you know, doing the video game thing, but, you know, also using the platform to help. Yeah. You know, beat making and like video games is cool and you can make a lot of money there. But I think if I was going to be able to, you know, do something on the side or extra, I think helping people has always, been my number one. So I think I've just been like my destiny, and like I've been put here to do that. To be able to make other people's dreams come true, inspire them, and help people, as many as I can, before I'm gone. So, but yeah, and then if I could do that, I mean, if I could get like a donation based off me doing a video game thing, that's one thing. But if someone was going to give me $10 and they have this fucking problem, and I'm able to get them through and show them some good vibes and good pictures, and it's a good safe place where people can open up and be real with each other and not feel like, neglected or feel like being, looked at it a wrong way. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've already, because I do that here, in Oregon with some people and stuff, but I mean, I'm grinding so hard now. I don't really have a lot of those meetups where we're like partying, or I meet up with people and, they'll come up and, they'll just be like, they know it's like I'm the fucking, I can be like the guy, the beer pong guy. I can be the person that, we're having fun and, you want to do darts, you want to do beer pong. If we're playing dice, whatever you want to do, I can get the party started and we can go. But then, I'll always get like pulled to the side, or I'll pull someone aside, and, you can have that heart to heart. And even if it's someone that you've never met before, if you are genuine and you're real, and you don't, it's not even being like a smooth talker. People are smooth talkers, like salesmen, you know what I mean? But besides the smooth talking, you can just kind of tell if someone cares and if they're genuinely interested in helping you or listening to what you have to say, or if it's just going to go in one ear out the other. And that's how most people are, because it's just like either they don't care, or they don't understand when to care, or they're just partying and people are fucked up. And like, when people love to have deep conversations when they're fucked up. Have you guys noticed that? You go to a party, people are drunk, people are smoking, people are doing other things. And then all of a sudden, you'll break away from a group, and then all of a sudden everybody turns into a fucking philosopher, and you start going, having these deep, real thoughts and shit. I know I'm not the only one. Yeah, but I feel like, I can try to make any situation better, and that's I think a gift. You know what I mean? Just like blessed with the voice, for my dad being Czechoslovakian and being European, and then my mom full Japanese, and I didn't end up getting the height of a traditional Japanese man, so that's always good. It's better to be 6 foot than 5 foot. Just makes things a little bit easier. Nothing against people that are shorter, but my mom was 5 foot. Okay, my mom was 5 foot. 5 foot. My dad was 6 foot. So for me to pray as a little kid that, oh my God, I want to be 6'6" and be like Michael Jordan and like Clyde Drexler and go to the NBA. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm young. If one is 5 and one is 6, there's no way in hell, oh doggy dog, is going to be 6'6", let alone in the NBA. And once you start realizing that, then I'm just like, okay, well, let's just pray that I can be 6 foot like my dad, and I can be at least eye level to him. And by the, the gods, I got there. So. I got to get a couple more things here for my boy.
For the Mavs, but as you saw, that 3-point shooting, 10 made threes there in the first half. Right now, that's the difference in the scoring.
Coming up here on the McDonald's McDelivery halftime show, we're going to talk about what the Blazers will need to do in the second half in order to get a victory in Dallas.
I like black and white stuff a lot too. I'm a man of nostalgia. I love the nostalgia.
And you better believe Root Sports is bringing you all the fireworks. In live games, great and post-game coverage, and insider access to your favorite players. This is your one-stop shop for the best show in town. So rise up, Rose City. This team came to play. And Root Sports has you covered all season long.
I'll send you all the address stuff, Sarah, after the stream is over. I'll get you that.
Hey, Captain, Jimmy Butler speaking. We're going to have to make a pit stop. There will always be bumps in the road.
72-63 at halftime. Blazers are down, but we might be able to come back. We'll see. All right, now I got to kind of find a couple iconic Tom Landry photos.
Moderate to severe eczema still disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it disrupts my skin with itch. It disrupts my skin with rash. But now, I can disrupt eczema with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is not a steroid, topical, or injection.
Yeah, but it's all about perception. You know, if you allow yourself to make the loss, feel worse and worse, you have to be realistic with yourself and not feed in to like people like in a 12 group. Because you're going to get normal fans, you're going to get irrational fans, you're going to get stupid fans, you're going to get smart fans, you're going to get fans that are crazy, and then you get all these personalities in there. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the most like wonderful place to be. Yeah, you're all supporting the one team, but there's a reason why I'm not a part of any Buccaneer or Oregon Duck Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter fan page group, because that shit is toxic as fuck. Anytime you group all one group together, you get all the fucking idiots and the morons and the drama people. It's not good. And a lot of them don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But I think with losses, you have to understand, that you're doing better, than you initially thought, right? But if a lot of the Seahawks fans thought, we're going maybe NFC Championship game, playoffs for sure, maybe Super Bowl, and you get like these, people that are jumping it like way too fast, and you have to realize you don't have a defense. So eventually, you might be pretty good and be like even a 5-2 team. You had maybe a soft, easier schedule. You start getting into the meat of your schedule, and then the reality hits. Maybe I was a little too overconfident listening to these other people hype shit up when inside my head and heart, I knew that we weren't as good as what other people are saying. So if you get bought in to like ESPN or the internet or podcasts or TV shows, and they influence you besides yourself watching the game, you're going to get to a point where, you're going to get too worked up. You just have to understand the team doesn't have a defense. Okay. The team is first year. It's like the Mariners, the first year, of many years of possible good success with Julio and with what you guys have with your core. And hey, it kind of helps when you have the second pick. So just realize if you don't make the playoffs, who cares? All right. If you do make the playoffs, that's all that matters, to even try to get in. But again, you have to be able to understand, okay, Seattle, Gino's done good. Pete is, good. You got the rookies, Tariq Woolen, good, right? But it still shows you, you got to crawl before you walk. Your little brother, like the Mariners were to the Astros. It's like, we got potential, right? We got potential, and we showed everyone that we're kind of good. But we aren't perfect. We have holes, and we got exposed. And that's what happens when teams aren't as good. You get fucking exposed on your weak spots. You don't got a fucking defense. You can't stop the fucking run. Guess what? It's not just Seattle. A lot of teams can't do it either, including my own team with Tampa. We suck, right? But, your team is like one of those teams where, I'm going from a Super Bowl and I'm going down, right? You're trying to trend upwards. So if you have struggles and you're going up and down, you just have to realize, remember, you weren't even supposed to be that good this year anyways. You're overachieving. The rookies are doing good. Gino's doing good. But every once in a while, if Gino plays poorly or the defense is really, really good, you're probably going to drop some games that you should, Niners, and ones that you shouldn't have, Raiders, Josh Jacobs' career game, or Panthers, and you came in flat. And, anytime that you go in flat and you can't stop the other team and they're not as good as you, it does get a little demoralizing. But again, this is year one of many years of possible success. And if you draft correctly, you just got to crawl before you walk. I mean, it's not like this team was in the preseason Super Bowl and then now you're sitting at like 500. Then it's like, all right, well, this is not really what we were expecting, but also injuries can play a factor. You got to understand, it's not like anyone's like Seattle Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So if you're feeling these strong emotions, it's not like you're Super Bowl caliber and then none of the main guys that got hurt. And then all of a sudden you're 500. Then you're like, oh man, there's some frustration here. But when you're just beginning, trending upwards, you got to just take the losses for what they are as a learning experience. We all make mistakes, but it's learning experiences. And as long as you can like point out, right, with people that are smart, that actually have a brain, like if what's good and what's bad. And then you realize, okay, I need a D tackle, Carter. I need a D end linebacker, Anderson. Maybe I need a center. Yeah, I need another guard. I need probably a safety. Like once you know a team, I don't have to be the fan of the team to understand what the weaknesses are. But once you start filling those, things can change. I mean, look at the Eagles last year where they crawled into the playoffs barely. They lost to the Buccaneers, and people thought, Jalen Hurts sacks. He's nothing, right? And then now they got 3 jerseys of him in the closet, MVP. And I was like, well, you told me last year he sucks. I said he's Dak 2.0. You said I was stupid. So everyone can see things, differently. But, I think that there's no point of getting overworked. Be happy that you're, at this point instead of being a 3-win team. You know what I mean? Like, you are what everyone thought. It's like, at least this year, it's actually fun. You didn't actually have to go through like 13 fucking losses or 14 and feel what that feels like after being a 10-win team pretty much every year when Russ was there. So it's all about perception, reflection, and, not overreacting, just taking it for what it is. You know what I mean? You don't have to go up and down with the roller coaster. Just try to act like you've been there before. You win, don't get too crazy. When you lose, don't get too low. Act like you've been there before, and it's all. And when you can do those things, or if you do get low and you watch something to get you back up and have a feeling maybe you were too negative about something. Oh yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, maybe things aren't so bad. You just got to be able to go to Dr. O. I'll smooth it over. I'll give it to you real, whether you want to hear it or not. I'll give it to you really 100% genuinely real, no bias. If it's an outsider looking in, this is the deal. But again, I would rather have them in the playoffs over the Giants and over Washington in a fucking heartbeat. And it's not even this like Northwest recency bias, because I'm not a fucking Seahawk fan. It's just I really love the story. And we have to have at least one success story between the Seahawks and the Broncos, and it definitely ain't fucking Denver. So
Mavericks have taken the lead on the Blazers. They've led by as many as 14, led by Luka Doncic with 23, Christian Wood off the bench with 20. Let's talk about Blazer defense, Lamar.
Yeah, we're going to see what they're going to elect to do, because with that pick and pop.
Heck yeah, see, and you know, yeah.
I think switching is the only way to go about it in the man-to-man.
Because the thing is, the difference between I feel with me compared to the people that are on the 12, you're like I said, you're just going to have so many personalities there. Smart people, dumb people, passionate people, bandwagon people, people that have watched every game since the beginning, people that have watched since the 1990s, people that, focus on defense, O-line. You're going to get all these personalities. But the problem is when you end up grouping all in one fan base, it's just a lot of toxic people. And it doesn't matter who you root for. I would love to be a part of a Tampa Bay one or an Oregon Duck one. But if all I'm hearing is just fucking talking shit about the others, all the time, whether it's on the team or the other rivals, that gets old. Give me stats. Give me facts. Give me, transfer information. Give me like the new prospect. I don't need to hear just blatant shit talking for like no reason. And there's nothing to back it besides just, talking shit to talk shit. It's just that type of behavior is like, okay, I'll listen to it for a little bit. But then when it just like continues and then you get 5 other fuckers doing it too and piggyback, this is what I'm spending my time with? Like, no. So it hurts, not to be able to have a group where I could bring them here and bring my Duck fans and but they're just so hater. You think Saints fans are bad in like the haterade that they drink. God damn. Some of the Buck fans are just, I can't even, that's why I left. I was like, I can't deal with this. And I get it. Some rivalries are very deep, but some people just go too far, There's no point. But I totally get the rivalry, man. Like when you have the rivals, you hate them. They hate you. The fan bases hate each other. That's what makes sports great. But as you know, it's like that one drunk ass at the party, girl or guy. There's always one person that always fucks it up for everyone else. Whether the cops come or, you got to kick someone out of the house or something's going on. There's always that one. This, unfortunately, you usually have more than one of those in a room. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give it to you 100. And like, what I'm saying? I know the players. I know the history. I know just as much as any hardcore Seattle Seahawks fan, 100, because I do live here in the Northwest. And the closest teams to me are Niners and like Seahawks, usually just right there. Chargers, San Diego, they moved away, but now they're in LA. So anything on the West Coast, obviously all those teams were, as a Oregonian, that's what we call ourselves here. I'm not sure if it's like Washingtonians, Oregonian. It just sounds better, But yeah, we care about our sports, and obviously we're gonna follow even if it's not our own. But I you just have to take the perspective for what it is, and just try to be realistic as much as possible. And if you can be realistic as much as possible and not feed into the garbage that you hear from people that you think that they know what they're talking about, because truly, if you do enough research and reading and you watch the game and you can pick up on tendencies, you can make up your own opinion. Are the wide receivers good or do they suck? Are they catching the ball or not? Is the offensive line doing a good job? Or are they giving up a lot of sack lunches? I mean, you don't have to be a fucking genius in the football side. I mean, the people that are really smart can go deeper. Like when some people see football as like checkers, and then you get the people that go deeper, it's like chess. But, you can not even be that bright of a person and understand like certain aspects of the game, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm rooting for you guys, and I don't think the season is over, but it shows you next year when you get these key pieces, when you have an opportunity to play the Raiders and the Panthers again, or teams that are like that, and you're the better team, then you got to boom. And then, there's no like we play like shit. Like we got a defense now where we got at least, 4 or 5 guys instead of like 1 or 2 guys. And that makes a big difference. And then the guys that were younger get a year older, maybe another free agent. Maybe actually people will want to come to Seattle and play defense because you're building something. So, and if you see it that way, then you see life better, having gratitude. It's like if you get it, like for me, you get a flat tire, everyone's crying and bitching and moaning, right? Well, what happens if it was 2 tires? What if you had a crazy person, bang, 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 slash all 4? How are you feeling at 4 rather than 3 or 2 or 1? But when you have 1 done, all you do is freak out because it's the 1, right? But for me, where more of my mind goes is anything can be worse than what it is. Absolutely. Oh, the tire's flat. What about the window? Is that broken? Like, did someone steal a sub? Like you just got to be able to see it like that. So no matter what bad shit happens, if you can get over it and understand this fucking sucks, right? But it could have been fucking worse. Let's just not freak out. And, it is what it is. At least it wasn't 2 tires. At least it wasn't all 4. And if you have that type of mindset, not only with sports, but life, I think life ends up being, a little bit smoother. At least that's the way that I live my life, like that. So 80-65, come on, Blazers. They're like, we will.
Progressive can protect you from becoming your parents, but we can't protect your home auto when you bundle with us. We don't need a line monitor.
Dallas on top here by 15, but 10-26.
Yeah. When you say this right here, people in your YouTube channel, the Seattle Seahawk YouTube channel you go to, or like Seahawk forums and rooms that you go in, and obviously if you think that Pete deserves to be fired, instead of being a candidate of one of like the top 6, of like, coach of the year. Of course, he's not going to get it, but I mean, he's doing the best he can with what he has to work with. You're going to win some games that you shouldn't. You're going to win games that you should. And you're also going to drop games that you're like, how did we lose this? You know what I mean? But you lose because the defense isn't there. If the defense is there, then you end up winning those games because we already know the offense is pretty good. Line, quarterback, coaching, play calling, quarterback. Now, the only problem is going to be defense. And then obviously we saw the offensive line get fucking manhandled. We saw Charles Cross get thrown like a baby, from Nick Bosa. So as great as Charles Cross is, he's still a rookie. But if he's not going against one of the best in the world, he's going to dominate most games. But it shows you, even as rookies, you can be beast mode and get thrown around a little bit by the best. But yeah. Well, plus also people will disrespect because you're a female. And that's a sad thing for you and Sarah and Holly and Zini Panini. And because some people that are just ignorant and they're stupid and they're sexist and they'll just be like, well, if a girl or woman is talking about sports or whatever, and some of these people's minds, they think, oh, that's, I'm not going to listen to that, and that's just ignorant behavior. You want to be able to have people of all age, all race, and, female, male. Of course, you're going to get smart ones and you're going to get people that aren't as smart, right? But I don't think we necessarily have anyone that just doesn't know anything. And that's why I don't go there. And that's why, if you really want to find out the reality of what you're thinking of. What is the reality of the team? Not in your eyes, but someone that's looking on the outside in to give it to you real. I feel like I can do that for pretty much any situation, any team, Because like I said, I try to treat every team as my own, which I know it seems kind of weird that I could have that much passion to love the game that much, to try to really love the Buccaneers as much as the Niners or the Seahawks and really deep dive into the roster and the team. And I did see that Lockett, even though the surgery, if it goes well and they go to the playoffs, there's a chance that he could be back. Not 100%, but he can wear a splint and he can still catch. So, not all is lost. I mean, it didn't look good with the surgery and the breakage, but at least that's you'll have to evaluate and see if it's even worth it. You don't want to risk his long-term career. And another thing about Lockett I love is that he's got mental health issues and he's talked about it. He's gone through some depression and even played games while depressed. And I love that about him. And that shows I would, the only way I would know that is if I follow Tyler Lockett or if I follow the Seahawks and the information. And I already know that, I already know Megan knows that story and stuff, but most people don't unless you're a 12 or someone like me that just follows everything. 85-70. I like to share those little tidbits too. So that way you can not only get the character of the guy on the field, sometimes we can add some stuff that shows who they are, man or woman, off the field. And that's what I like. I like collecting people that I respect on and off the court or the field. If they're kind of like an asshole or troublemaker or kind of shady, chances are I probably don't collect their stuff. There's other people that I'll look up to a little more. So, but so it kind of proves a point. Thank you, Mike. Mike did a dono a while back because he's great. $16.72, baby. But, it's like you would think you would be able to have the most intelligent conversations. $1 from Sarah. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, bang. Every dollar counts. Bang, bang. I appreciate you. Thank you. And let me know what you want to see, and then I'll do Mike's here. But it's just crazy to think okay, you think being around an entire fan base would be the best thing, it's nothing wrong is ever going to happen, but it's almost the complete opposite. When you get all kinds of personalities rooting for that one team, chances are a lot of those people are jaded and it's toxic. So you can't even really have a normal conversation in there, because anytime someone has the right answer and who's correct, you're just going to get assholes that want to fight and argue in there. And then you just, you can't even really be happy in a room like that. So, and that's why I have never been able to be a part of either one. I tried 2 different Oregon Duck Facebook ones. I tried doing an Instagram or Twitter Buccaneer one. Couldn't do it. Longest I lasted, it was a month. And I was like, Jesus, filling up my timeline with all this negative bullshit. You know what I mean? It's you lose a game and then you have the Saints players or fans, going after Jared Cook with the fumble, getting booted off Instagram, that type of behavior, the NOLA behavior, stuff like that, man. It's if you're going to just trash your own team and just be negative all the time and just negatively talk about the other fan bases for no other reason, there's no other thing that you can say other than fuck the Saints or the Panthers or there's no backbone to whatever you're saying. That's it. I don't know how much, patience people have, but not too much for me with that type of shit. It's cool, I'll listen to it for a while, but I don't want that to be a part of my daily routine. $16.72, baby. Bang, bang. Mike with the $16.72 on the cashier. Bing, bang, bang. Appreciate you. Well, it sounds like, the channel isn't as great as maybe you thought it was. That's why, there's a lot of people that go and they follow their own team. But just because someone is covering the team as the main channel, you have to see about who's in the room. And it shows you, if you want to be somewhere where you're not feeling threatened and everyone can vibe, or you go anywhere else, and chances are there's going to be some toxic behavior at some point while you're there. That's a horrible way to fucking spend your time, especially when you want to just like hang out with people, have some intelligent conversation, bounce around a couple opinions, right, wrong, going over everyone's favorite things, no drama, no bullshit, you know what I mean? And yeah.
Choosing your health insurance is better when you have a guide. Moda Health and Delta Dental provide high quality insurance and access to local.
I mean, unless you get someone that truly knows the game, that can give you an honest opinion with no bias whatsoever, it's hard to be able to really take with what people say like true to heart, because let's be honest. I mean, how many people dedicate their life to the NFL and really know what they're talking about? I mean, it's pretty clear. For some people are faking it till they make it, and there's people that truly do know the game. So, all right, what do we want to do for pictures? Here, Derek Brooks, great choice. Love me some Derek Brooks, my favorite of all time, linebacker. The best outside linebacker in his generation, and one of the best outside linebackers of all time. There's going to be like middle linebackers that, Ray Lewis and, the Urlachers and the Keekleys, but you got to think with Derek Brooks, he was a guy that could actually pick six it. So like not like in that Super Bowl year, I mean, he's running back 5, 6, 7 touchdowns from the linebacker position. That's even more than most safeties and corners get. And he's a bigger body that hits hard. That's what made him so incredible, just like Warren Sapp with the athleticism he had. But even Sapp isn't going to be getting in the end zone unless they put him in at tight end and fullback, which they did. And he did play some tight end at the U. And I love seeing some of the trickery, but definitely got to throw it back to the Florida State days.
Getting you to over 1,000 destinations faster. Apply for the Alaska Airlines Visa card today.
Yeah, but it's definitely by far my favorite player. And, Devin White's my favorite player now. But this is, I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. is going to be my number one of all time because, I mean, it's Ken Griffey Jr. I met him, so it's nothing's going to replace that and stuff. But now, Derek Brooks, and I got, some of my Duck players that I love. And obviously, obviously Julio. That's the big one right now for me. We're doing great right now. Blazers are losing 95-70. That's great. But we're looking at amazing photos and, just trying to help everyone's mental health. And that's what we do here. And I don't know, like for me, like it's hard for me to be able to find places that aren't toxic. I'm always working on my own stuff anyways, but I'm just 40 years. Anyone that's like 40 and up or 35 and up, I think we've already gone through so much bullshit in our life. If you're already going through bullshit at work, bullshit in your hometown, bullshit in your house, why the fuck would you want to go in a room that's got more bullshit than what you're dealing with or more? Like, it's sometimes it's just like, I love the host or, I'm like most of the people, but at some point it's just like, fuck, man. That's my boy. 95-73. Blazers getting ripped apart, but it's quite okay. $360. Almost at 400. It's been such a crazy, just kind of depressing month, just to be very honest about it. But again, the best part about, being a full-time, streamer and just a grinder is that no matter if you have a bad day, and, people or donos or whatever, tomorrow's another day. So it's always like, okay, as long as I'm grinding, maybe this day was a little low, but boom, maybe we have a $50 day. Let's just try to see what we can do from there. And, we got great people that support the brand and couldn't ask for a better group. So no worries. Do you? No problemo. Life is about perspective. It's all about how you see things. And the less you can overreact about life, the better shape that you'll be in. And you won't be feeling like this every day. I might feel like that in the morning sometimes. $173 Mavericks. We're just getting killed out there. It's my dog right there. I can watch highlights of Derek Brooks, Warren Sapp, John Lynch, Simeon Rice, Rondé Barber, and Mike Allstott for like 12 hours straight. No doubt. Yeah, I don't ever worry really about I never really worry about the GOATs. There's always going to be a little playful chitter chatter and whatnot. It's usually the new people, that don't know what this is about here. Then the behavior that maybe people get away with on other channels, that shit don't fly here. So. I mean, like I said, if this was a couple years ago, I would have put up with it because, it's like you're just needing people and, it's like you need to have people and sometimes you have to sacrifice some of your happiness for, trying to, grow and whatnot. But at this point, I've already been doing this for 10 years. I've seen the worst of the worst. We've had people that have, made up like 30, 40, 50 fake accounts after I boot one and make another one. And, just be like biggest NWSF hater and, just number 1, number 2, number 3, number 50, like this ridiculous stuff. You'd think people would have more time on their hands for something other than that. But I think you just get a little older and then, you decide what you put up with and not. So. It's my boy.
Because now he gets to control what happens. His shot, the pass, it's his world at that point. And it's not like there's an easy answer for how to deal with him, but that's the one way of, that's not the answer.
Damn. 104.79. We are getting killed out here. I'm going to put up some Red Farmer for you, Mike. $104.82 Mavericks. God, 2 minutes left in the third. We're getting rocked. God, I miss NASCAR so bad. I knew I was going to miss it too. As soon as the season ended, I'm like, oh, this is going to be rough. Like, I'm actually missing NASCAR more than baseball, and I'm really juicing to want to watch baseball and watch Julio. So, oh, yeah. I haven't got a chance to watch anything yet, but I imagine it hopefully will be pretty good.
Health insurance can be complicated. Choosing the right health plans is better when you have a guide. Moda Health provides high-quality health insurance with access to local trusted doctors. Choose the plan that fits the needs of your business and employees, so they stay healthy and you get the best value. Choose a better insurance experience with a local partner. Visit us at modahealth.com to get started.
First Tech Federal Credit Union believes their members and families bring out the best spirit of our community. Innovation, creation, and teamwork are part of their identity, just like your favorite Portland Trailblazers. That's why
Hall of Fame speech. Yeah, I'm trying to do like some more history and kind of get in touch with more of the older stuff if I can.
First Tech is a financial partner and a local supporter that's ready to help you take your money further. Join them at firsttechfed.com/ripcity and go Blazers.
Center District by NCUA.
Yeah, but I can't wait for the season. When is the first race? How long do I have to wait? What's the actual date of the first race? $104.82 Mavericks. Oh, look at that. Look at that helmet. You like them? I got you, man. No problem. For you, man. Anything for you, man. I'm just glad that we were able to, out of like NASCAR, like really the whole thing, the best part about the whole season was actually being able to meet you and have you a part of the crew, because like I said, we have a few others that would, come through during the race, like Riggs, but you actually have made a presence, during NASCAR season and obviously not NASCAR season. And it's just great to have you a part of the channel on a regular basis, and you're a huge supporter. You're a big difference maker, and it's just nice to be able to have your OG, your old school presence. I got a lot of knowledge, and nice alley-oop there for the Blazers to Sharp. Woo! But yeah, I appreciate you tremendously. 104.85. But that was the best part of NASCAR to me. It's like you had a few people come through. Usually you and Riggs would really hold it down, and I had a few others that had some pretty good NASCAR information. But probably I would say the highlight of the year, but between all the views and the subs and just trying to grow that NASCAR side, is being able to gain the people, and that's really what it's about. Just being able to get to know each other and then being able to watch together and go through the memories together throughout the season. It's always good to have those bonds. So I'm always looking to have a NASCAR person, and you always have someone that knows more than me, so that way they can fill me in on new stuff, maybe before I get the news on like Twitter or the news outlets, or the old history before I was born. So shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. February 20th. God, that's just too far away already. Like, oh man, I'm going to be counting down the days. Appreciate you. Bang, 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 bang. End of the third quarter, 110-85 Mavericks. Damn that, Luka. I got to give you one of his, like, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Trying to find you some new stuff that I haven't showed. Different stages. Oh, I found another cool one I've never showed you. This is a cool one. This one's cool too because he's kissing the trophy, but ooh, look at that. I like this. That's a nice one. Just the decals is the best part. And just looking at the grandstand and just the history there and just the way things looked with the businesses and the decals. So cool. And I appreciate that. I'm just trying to give people, something on the NASCAR side where, they've never seen before. Like everyone will do like, the stats, behind them with the laps and whatnot. But I would rather look at, some HD photos of them, with the car, in the car, outside the car, or some old school stuff,
Gutierrez says Wilsonville Toyota is such a
All right, I got to delete some of these other photos to make room.
He couldn't be happier with his vehicle. I'm putting a stop to this. Come on, there's still no pull. Wilsonville Toyota, the dealership that's changing it all.
Jack, the data shows that people love our
These ones might stay. I kind of like these ones.
So the data's good.
The data's real good.
Well, I'm sure it's the best data I've ever had.
It's like when we got a hater in the room.
Dallas with a 15-point lead as we head here now to the fourth quarter of play. Take a look at our Pacific Office Automation stats here tonight. Dallas shooting 59%, the Blazers 48. 8 points, Blazers 32.
All right, start of the fourth quarter, 110-85. I mean, we're getting our ass kicked. We're down by fucking 25. This is not the same Blazer team that I saw in Portland a week ago. But again, when you're on the road, sometimes when it's a back-to-back, you're just tired. Or you play like shit. Anything anything that I've missed from anybody that is still in here, anything else that you want to see, Sarah, anything, Mike, if you guys have anything that you want to see, music related, NASCAR related, baseball related, anything you want, just type it in the chat and we'll do that whenever you guys are ready. FTR versus the Acclaimed. Nice. How has it been so far? Has it been pretty good? I don't get any of this stuff until later tonight. So like I get SmackDown. SmackDown is at 8:00, which is in 34 minutes. And then I don't get Rampage until 10 my time. So I don't even get Rampage until like 2 hours and 30 minutes from now. So, and I get Young Rock tonight too. Awesome. Cena. I wonder if they would have did Cena and Logan Paul if Logan didn't tear his shit. I like John Cena more when he was a heel than a face. Just it's who I am, And I think they missed a big opportunity of making him like NWO in like 2010, 2011. Could have been the biggest heel turn since Hogan, and it would have rocked wrestling. And it could have been so cool to see him in that role as Hogan, as like the OG. But I always like the word life, Cena the best. But I do have some memorabilia. I do have a armband and wristband from a show that I went to in his prime that I still have in the plastic in my chest, which is pretty cool. Towel. I gave the towel away to a kid, but I got the I think a headband, armband, wristband, something like that. So maybe it's a headband and wristband combo, I think. And it was like the towel. And then I gave the towel to a kid. So since Stone Cold, yeah. I just never stopped watching. Once I stick with something, I just do it forever. It's like it's one of those things. It's maybe there'll be a time period where I, if the program goes downhill, then maybe I take a break or I'll come back to it like NASCAR. But also too, the reason why it makes it better for me is like you are like my old boss. So like my old boss, Ed O'Neill, he was the guy that got me into NASCAR originally, and without him, I lost a little love for it because I like talking about, stuff with someone. So it's like when you can actually talk with people about the same stuff and we're all on the same page, it just makes it more enjoyable when you're like watching races together or talking about it, or maybe you didn't get the chance to watch the race and you come in the stream the next day and we can catch up or whatever. And, but I think like whenever I can have a, group of people that I feel that are on the same level, then we can enjoy that. Then it makes my love for that thing that maybe I didn't love it as much before. But if I got key people that I know that I'm bonded with and we're watching it, it makes it so much better for me overall as an experience. I just like to be able to share that experience with people, you know? We just got to get Chase Elliott a championship next year. And that'll give me time. Maybe if things get a little better, maybe I can get like a die-cast car autograph that actually shows up to my house that I buy on eBay instead of North Carolina. Maybe a racing helmet. Racing suit would be cool. A Chase Elliott racing suit, but I mean, that's going to be some money. I mean, I have replica ones for like $100 some, but like costume kind of style. But if I could get something that was more authentic. Wrestling belt, that would be nice to have too. I should already have one. I should already have like a billion of them, but I mean, they're expensive. It's not like wrestling belts cost like $100, you know, like most of them are like 300 and up. 115 to 91, big three. Wofford with the triple, 115 to 94. Blazers down by 21 with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Ooh wee. Cena and KO versus Sammy and Ooh, really? Wow, that's nice. That's a must-see TV. First race in 77. Who won the first race that you watched? Do you remember? It's all about those memories that you have early on. And Cena, even though if you booed him at the end of his run, like he just isn't around anymore and he's doing movies and TV, of course he's going to get a pop. Like whether you love him or you hate him, kind of like the Kurt Angle thing, even though they would like chant, you know, the "you suck." They didn't really think Kurt Angle sucked. Maybe some people did, but it was just like the song, you know, but most people respect the hell out of Kurt Angle and what he was able to do in WWE. And he was entertaining. He was good on the mic. He was funny, played the part well. And, you know, Cena's going to get a big, big pop, just like some of the legends, you know, it's eternal. Like, I think for me, my favorite intros like right now is Jericho, just because he's such an OG, and the Judas and his own song with Fozzy. It's the best one in wrestling right now. They sing it at every arena and it's so catchy. And he's a brilliant artist, man. Like Jericho is a fucking really talented guy. Like he can go into many fields, like professionally in certain things. And I actually hope he does like a full-time like podcast, something with that, you know, video attached, and just like, you know, it is really cool to be able to hear his story through his words. I would watch. I wouldn't watch too many podcasts out of too many wrestlers. There's only a select few that I would, you know, consider listening to, like Kevin Nash. But definitely him. 117.96 Mavericks. I have a vintage Kurt Angle figure that I found a long time ago too. That's got the belts. It's an actually SmackDown Kurt Angle, and it's got a couple of the belts inside the package, and it's from like the 90s, like right when Angle came out in that first run or whatever. And I think I got it at a card shop for like $10, $12, still in the package. Yeah, it's cool. If I can ever dig it up, I'll show it to you on the show. But I only have one, and it's in the package. So like usually when I see stuff, even if it's like, well, do I really want this Kurt Angle? But then I think to myself, okay, if I leave and then all of a sudden I think about it for a day or two and I come back and it's gone, would I be pissed? And if the answer is yes, then I buy it right then, because, you know, and it's like, that's truth, because you've always had an opportunity. If I go to a card shop or I see some like hat or, you know, hoodie, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I know I should buy it, but then I talk myself out of it, go back, and then it's gone. And I'm like, well, holy hell, now I'm not going to be able to get that, whatever thing was. So usually, you know, if you got the money and it's like you're for sure set on it, just buy it. Otherwise, you're going to lose certain things as long as you can afford it. But the Angle was like, oh, I have to buy this. It wasn't even that much. Yeah, his skits were some of the best. All the stuff that, The Rock was very memorable, Stone Cold, but I feel Kurt Angle had a lot of fucking moments when he came in. Like he had a lot of memorable, matches. They had the little faction, Shelton Benjamin. They had a lot of story angles. They did. He was really good for wrestling. Like he actually came in, right? Not like Ronda Rousey, and actually adapted and was actually like learned everything. Wasn't like robotic and weird out in the ring. Like there's a difference between doing, college wrestling, a UFC, but it's like a lot of times when you're a fighter, it just looks awkward when you try to go from fighting to pretend fighting because you don't know how to do it because you're always used to punching someone in the head, Be much easier to be like a wrestler and then go in to be a UFC fighter. You just have to be a crazy wrestler and be like really aggressive. So aggressive dog. All right, I gotta delete some more photos. Let me know what you guys want to see. If there's anything that you want to see. Obviously, the Blazers are losing 121-96. We're only down by 25. That's my mood. Yeah, but it's always good when we can, if I need to call the game, I can call the game. If not, we can freestyle it. And, sometimes you're having those, Dr. O moments when you can kind of just, talk and, counsel and listen and try to give my 2 cents. And, it's nice to be able to help people out. That's what you're here for, especially when when someone is in need. Like, it's like knowing someone's in need and still turning your shoulder or turning your head. It's like, you just doing the right thing and it's going to, come back, tenfold. So.
Listen up. We got a problem. A lot of you are skipping lunch like it doesn't matter. Well, this year we take a lunch.
What was for dinner tonight? What did everybody have for dinner? I haven't ate yet. Lunchtime. Chunky. They got Sean McVay on the commercial because they thought they'd be good again. They're like, well, you won the Super Bowl. They want to be in the commercial. He's like, fuck yeah, man. I'll take that extra mil. And then they play the commercial and the team's absolute dog shit. But wouldn't that be crazy if the Rams and Baker beat Green Bay? That'd be wild. I don't know if anyone sees that scenario happening. Very unlikely, but yeah, we're close. We are close. And these couple big days that we've had with Shep has really helped us get back on track because we were so far behind the 8 ball. It was like, it was kind of stressing me out a little bit. I'm like, oh man, I was like, I just want to be able to not have to worry. And, as long as you just stay positive and we have a good time, and I'm always going to make the backgrounds look fresh. Everything will be icy all the time. Very oozy. Everything will be oozy here. That means a lot. Thank you. I respect you too. That's one of the best compliments that you can get, when I get these private messages or when, people say things like that. Of course, getting huge donations and getting subs and getting, higher subs and more people in the room and donations feels great. But a comment like that means a lot more than any dollar amount. Of course, money is important, but it is, as long as you have enough to pay your bills and rent, it's not everything. And that, I know that. But the sad reality is you have to have enough of it so you can still live. And shit costs a lot of fucking money, especially when I'm going to like Petco and, I'm trying to make sure I have Paisley live her best life and everything. And, I'm trying to improve the channel and, the thumbnails. And so sometimes you just got to be able to prioritize, what you're trying to do. But I'm always going to try to, improve, but I'm always going to be consistent. I think that's going to thing. For as far as like my legacy, because some people will be like, oh, I like his voice or, the dedication, the drive, but I think just a good dude, just being real, genuine, that would be like some of the best compliments. Nice pass. There we go. 121-98. We're almost there. We're only down by 23. Less than 6 minutes to go. Yeah, we have a special group. You know what I mean? Like I said, with the people that we have, it's a very tight-knit group. And then like if we can eventually we can get to a point where we can get more, then that'll help us be able to do more fun things like giveaways, and things will be a little bit less stressful, and then I can give more back because that's the ultimate goal. But obviously I got to look out for me first, because I mean, there's things that do cost that I have to take care of. So, but I think giving stuff away to you guys is my favorite thing. But, every once in a while, I'll try to treat myself to something like Julio, like I did, got to do that. Aaron Judge. Ooh, nice block from behind. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's just different levels of friendship and bond, and it's like you just meet certain people and it's just you feel different. Like you've known them a while or a long time, but it just shows you there's not a lot of people out there that are just truly selfless and genuine, and we have so many of those type of people in the room, and that's what I would want. I wouldn't want more people and have a toxic room with 500 people in it. Even if I'm making a lot of money in donations, it would just be too stressful for me and the mods, and I wouldn't like that. But unfortunately, when you get to be a bigger channel, that's what it usually turns into. But at least for the time being, if I can survive, still be able to give back, and we can have a controlled environment where I'm in control of, like kind of like a VIP, who gets in and who doesn't, then we can kind of keep the peace. And I think that is, I'm not sure if you can put a dollar amount on that, especially on a YouTube channel or Twitch channel. I mean, there's so many great channels that are out there, but how many are not toxic, or very minimal? It's just a standard, There's respect. It's a standard, but you know how that goes. 126-103 Dallas. How about some Alabama gang, huh? Alabama gang. Dunk that, dunk that. Dunk that. Yeah, Samoa Joe is one of the best on the microphone of all time. He's very good. Yeah, I like Samoa Joe like I like Kevin Owens. They're a little bit thicker of a wrestler, but their microphone skills are better than any of the skinnier guys or the guys that are on steroids. So if I got a guy that might be a little bit thicker, but is a great assassin on the microphone and is a damn good wrestler, I'm going to take a guy that might be a little thicker than some guy that's just fucking roided up like a Bobby Lashley. I'd rather watch a Samoa Joe or a Kevin Owens than a Bobby Lashley any day. It's all about the microphone skills for me. You got to have the mic skills, and Samoa Joe is an assassin. Motherfucker is great. Just like KO too. Fucking fantastic. So it's pretty good, huh? So it looks like like I said, it's just nice to be able to have options, to be able to watch, 2 programs, just it was so bad when Vince was running it in COVID. Like I never missed Raw or SmackDown until COVID hit. I watched it for like 20 years straight. Like I never missed an episode. And then it got so bad. I was like, what the fuck is this? What am I doing? Like I can't sit here and watch Monday Night Raw for 3 hours for one good match. And then on top of that, no fans were there. So it's like, whether it's virtual or whatever, it's just not the same. Yeah, and then also too, I like being able to help people out. So it's like, if we have enough, that I can help people out. Like if I can pay for someone's pay-per-view to watch like AEW with me, like Sarah or something, like, I like being able to do stuff like that. It just makes me feel good. But I think being able to get like the clothes, because like I said, some people have the money to get stuff. Some people have a better sense of style of what might look better. And yeah, I mean, like I said, especially when we have all our different favorite things, but I need to get to a point where I also get some wrestling tees, because that's one of my favorite things to collect also, as a wrestling t-shirts, vintage or new. So many different options. It's like ridiculous. Yeah, me too. Like a lot. Like sometimes I put wrestling even over football. That's how much I like it. And I wouldn't like it above football unless like it's got to be incredible, like life-changing, to me. Like I got to have that history, and I do. Like I've got like 35 years of, wrestling out of 40, so that's quite a bit. And I'm a big collector of the figures, and that's one of the toy things that I like to collect, and just a big part of my life. Now, always NFL is going to be true to my heart, and college football with Ducks, and just college football in general. College football and NFL are like so close to my soul. It's like it's there, but wrestling is right there with it. I mean, shit, I used to go to, Wallace Video, Blockbuster Video, and, get the Mountain Dew and rent like 4 pay-per-views from like, 1988 Royal Rumble and 1989 Survivor Series. And I would just be at my dad's house, and I would just stay up all night fucking watching Honky Tonk Man or Hacksaw Jim Duggan or Demolition or Legion of Doom or Ultimate Warrior or Hogan or, Doink the Clown or Roddy Piper, wherever, Bam Bam Bigelow. Psycho Sid Vicious, Diesel, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty. I mean, do I need to keep going? Yeah, boy. Yeah, we'll talk about it later and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you want to, yeah, we'll talk about it later and stuff. We'll either way is cool. Like either I can get that, or if you want to just, it just depends if you want to do the, the computer work, but I'll message you after. And thank you. I appreciate that. And obviously if I'm going to go for, stuff, it's going to be Macho Man and NWO at the very top. Those are going to be, well, actually Macho Man, NWO, and Rock and Stone Cold. Like if I'm going like, and then obviously like RVD, Randy Orton. I mean, I got a lot of different people. Seth Rollins, and Kenny Omega, Young Bucks, Jericho. I mean, Legion of Doom, Road Warriors. I mean, I got a lot of favorites. But definitely most of the time, if it's not NWO, it's more than likely, and not Rock or Stone Cold, and then it's probably Randy Savage, or I'm looking that direction. But yeah. Well, obviously for me, like, being so in love with it, the peak was in the 80s and the 90s, where you had all the legends still together. And then when it branched out to ECW and WCW, and you had the Monday Night Wars, so you had Stone Cold and The Rock in their prime with DX. And then you ended up having the WCW, the NWO, and ECW had RVD and Sabu. That was the peak of the peak, and it'll never be like that ever again. They had some of the best pay-per-views, best matches, just best overall people that were still alive at the time, and put on like, every person brought a sign. People were going crazy. Like it was in its heyday. So we're down 20, 130 to 110. We can definitely come back, right? And the game is over. It already says final on ESPN, and now I have 8 seconds left. Good job, Blazers. Damn it. Blazers, why did you lose tonight? Luka. Final score, Mavericks 130, Blazers 110. Yeah, Dusty. Throw some Dusty up. Now I gotta talk to my buddy Justin. I'll be like, bro, I watched that whole game, and this is what happens. But
fancy fresh brew coffee, no fancy line. And convenient cookie, fresh bake, just like your grandma.
Dusty Rhodes, baby. Look at the old WWF logo in the corner. Legend. Microphone skills. Charisma.
It tastes like victory. 1800, the world's most awarded tequila.
Moderate to severe eczema still disrupts my skin.
Yeah, me too. I always liked Brett over Shawn Michaels, and I think I might be the only one. All my friends, not one is like me, but I like heels more. And, Shawn Michaels was really more a face most of the time. And yeah, I'm like the only one on the internet. I mean, I don't know you, there's only a few, but I think that I would say if you polled or asked like 10 people, maybe one would say Bret Hart over Shawn Michaels. And I guess I'm that one. And, not a lot of people like him more, but there's different reasons why I think that, it's, obviously microphone skills, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, but as far as like in the ring and also giving away the Thunder Shades away to kids in every match, I thought was the coolest thing ever. Like if I was one of those kids that actually got Bret Hart to give me the glasses, I would have probably lost my goddamn mind. I don't even know what the hell I would have done back then. And imagine the kids that still have those, even if they're like little plastic, doesn't even matter. Like that would be the coolest thing ever to have. Get them in a encasing, put it like a special case on them, or even like on a mannequin or whatever, and have it on there. Look awesome.
I can't believe you lost another Kevin. It's a holiday tradition. That it is. Earn big time with Chase Freedom Unlimited. How do you cash back? Chase, make more for yours. Jimmy, grab me a beer.
Hey, Captain, Jimmy Butler speaking. We're going to have to make a pit stop. Hey, thanks for working through the holidays.
Clara, Dad says you're working over Christmas.
Here you go, Mrs. Carson. No, you're not going to pay me.
We are the helping
But one thing though, I feel that once he went to WCW, it wasn't the same. Like his like aura was like pure, like WWF. And when he went to WCW, the swag and then like the whole vibe of him went down the shitter. He wasn't the same legend as he was over there. Like some guys went from one to another. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, obviously, and then when they went to become the Outsiders, that took them to another level. Besides Razor Ramon and Diesel were big, but the Outsiders and the NWO, that was like legendary shit. And yeah, lots of memories. All right, no problem, Megan.
Nice game. Off the bench, 16 points. Keon Johnson put it himself off the bench. Sharp played hard as well tonight.
Yes, I was going to go to Trent, and I'm glad you pointed that out because he had 16 points. He had 2 steals, which led the
These are my guys, my all-time favorite tag team of all time.
He had 11 rebounds, which led the Blazers in this one. And I know it doesn't feel like it matters in this game where the Blazers got blown out. It does. He is. I've been saying this since last season because
I mean, if you don't think that that's cool, I mean, then I don't know. I mean, I mean, the look with the face paint and the shoulder pads and the music and the intro, coolest thing ever as a kid. Nothing cooler. Nothing cooler. I mean, even though Demolition was cool, but they weren't as cool as the Road Warriors or Legion of Doom.
Some of those young guys, Keon getting in late, Shaden's dunks, and him scoring the ball.
That's my guy right there.
Bright spots, but not enough to cover up how much of a stitch there was in this game as well. There just isn't, and I don't think the team is going to try to act like that. The benefit for the team is they got a game tomorrow, so they get to turn the page really quickly and try to put this one behind them.
And you will have these games from time to time, and Dallas really needed this one as well. They had not been playing.
I got to message my buddy. I was like, bro, I bet Blazers, boo. Blazers, boo. Thank you, Mike.
Golden shopping cart. Final tonight, 130, 2-1 tennis. The Mavericks we completed section 5 with Carl Houston. Toyota tip-off show starts at 4:30 Pacific. Director broadcast Jeff Gertman. Our producer Dan Ryan, John Burke, our TV.
Mike, 1987. Don't know, bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, bang. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And we'll try to find the Warriors, the Road Warriors with the Dusty face paint. So Dusty dressed like him, huh? Bang, bang. I'll have to look for that.
Show me the data.
All right.
So the data's good.
The data's real good.
Well, it's the best data I've ever had.
My best-selling Ultimate Cheeseburger. Now seasoned with Big Grill.
Oh, this is cool.
The BMW Road Home Sales Event on now. Receive a credit of up to $3,250 on select models now through January 3rd.
Now it's official. Xfinity has the fastest internet and the fastest mobile service. That's right. Xfinity.
Let's go. That is so cool, man.
Xfinity Mobile gives you can't catch me speeds. Plus, save hundreds on the internet for your first 2 years when you add mobile. The fastest internet, the fastest mobile service, and major savings? Can't argue with the facts. Get gig-speed internet for $50 a month for 2 full years when you add Xfinity Mobile with unlimited data. Plus, get $200 back. Switch today.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop.
And we're the Antonelli.
And I found another one. It's blurry, but you'll get the point.
Chose our Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because it gives us unlimited 2% cash back.
Super blurry, but you'll get the point here.
No preset spending limit.
Let's go.
Adapts to our business needs.
Look at that. How cool is that? He actually, it looks good, actually. What's up?
Our people. It may sound cheesy, but we like it that way. Let's sing you along.
Okay. All right, I'll watch her. So I'm probably gonna end the stream in probably 37 minutes. That way that Sarah can get a little time, and then I'll spend time with Paisley. I don't know. Did they? Okay. Well, Paisley, you leave the door. Okay. I'll hang out with her. So yeah. So you go do that, and I'll hang out with her, and so it's fine. I'll give her some treats. We'll hang out, and we'll go for either the 3-hour mark or the 4-hour mark. But like I said, sometimes, we're going to be doing at least one game tomorrow, the Bills and the Dolphins, and then Commandos and Giants. And I'll probably watch that Oregon State. But I mean, we've definitely exceeded, the Dono train much higher, especially when you get a $300 dono from one person. So, to give Sarah, she doesn't feel well, some extra time. I think that leaving it in 36 minutes would be ideal. If there's anyone else that wants to stay longer, if they come in, I'm willing to stay a little bit longer. No problem with that. But if we think that 36 more minutes would be a good cutoff point, so at least that way Sarah can get rest unless she wants to stay, and then we can always leave this particular NBA court. It is kind of nice to look at, but I would rather. We're going to take a trip. This would be nice. I mean, it's kind of the wrong season, but I can dream. Spring and summer, early fall.
And both of them responded. But Christian Wood gets his career high coming off the bench. I mean, he shot it well. He was in a rhythm, and then his teammates did a good job of finding him. He was deadly from three, and that's a tough matchup when Nurk's on the floor because he's not going to come out that far on the court.
Yeah, special group.
So the way he was shooting the basketball,
I mean, like I said, even if I had an opportunity to have 50 or 100 or hundreds more, right, and we're even making more money, but it's just toxic as fuck. Like, how long do you go before you decide to cut people off? And is money worth more than the peace or the vibe of your mods or people that are working? Because I mean, if you're just in a toxic place and you're always having to kick people out, I can't believe that would be enjoyable. Staying in a room for 4 or 5 hours, and instead of actually enjoying the host or the room, yet you're just having to boot people out and monitor. That would kind of suck. I think that would be good. That'd be a good cutoff point, I think, for all of us, since we ended up getting to that. Unless, if someone comes in and they want to hang out with me for a little bit after, I would be willing to do that. But, if they don't show up within the 24, then I think that's a good cutoff point, since we'll probably just do 1 and 1. But if I end up deciding that I do the Oregon State game, that'll be on at 11:30 against Florida, I believe. So even if we don't make very much in that, it would be kind of cool to do it, just because I will be rooting for the Beavers. And even though I'm a Duck fan, I'm not a hater. So I wouldn't mind, going that particular route.
To the Mavs, and they've had a real difficult time with Luka and with this group in particular.
Yeah, so Luka finishing with 33 after going 11 of 8.
Yeah, these are awesome. I could look at wrestling photos all day. Anything wrestling related, YouTube, whatever, especially if it's from my childhood. Are you kidding me? Let's go, man. Let's go. All right, now I got to delete these other basketball photos.
I'm going to be anxious to hear what Coach has to say about this one. I know I was excited. I know Kevin was excited in the pregame. I was really excited about this one because I felt like this was, I don't want to say it was a big game, but it was an important game because you're playing a quality opponent. You've been playing well. They haven't been. You've been good on the road. But this was a barometer, I thought, to see kind of where we are against one of the guys that could possibly be the MVP.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
So I kind of had this one circled. That
for
I
sure.
See how we do tonight. And at least from my standpoint, I'm disappointed with.
Yeah, we could do that, and like I said, I might even have a few people hop on, at some point, just to have a little bit more interaction. Doesn't even have to be for that long. I'm gonna close the window here. 1 second. Hi, Paisley. Hi, Paisley. Dad's almost done, and we're gonna hang out. We're gonna snug. Probably watch some Simpsons. I did watch both bowl games today, so I'm committed. You know what I mean? Like, if something is on, I'm probably gonna watch it. Oh, they got the 2015 Ohio State versus Oregon with Mariota. Do I dare watch this? Ass whooping that we took. It's cool to see Mariota, though. And it just started. 0-0 Oregon, Ohio State. Let me know what you guys want to see. That's awesome. I get a fucking Oregon game I haven't watched in 5 years. Touchdown, Ducks. Keenan Lowe from Marcus Mariota. Extra point is up. And it's good. 7-0 Ducks. All right, we got 22 minutes to go. Mike and Sarah, you lead the way. Whatever you guys want for this last 20 minutes, it's all you guys. So you let me know what you guys want to see. And I thought both games were good. Did you watch both? I had, because I was like, okay, I'm up early, and I messaged Marcos. I was like 7 a.m, and I was like, bro, Oregon State tomorrow. He's like, yeah, me and Rick are gonna go crazy. And I was like, all right, don't get kicked out of too many places. And then I noticed that the bowl game was gonna be on at like 8:30, and it was like, 8, 15, 20 started to creep up. I was like, fuck it, let me watch this. And I ended up watching both, and I was pleasantly surprised. Both games were actually pretty good. A little slow at times in both games, but definitely some surprises in both. And you got to see some quality football too. So that was always good. It wasn't like a 50-0 type of scenario. So, but if we want to look at food or anything else, let me know. And like I said, we can make the most, or we can keep doing the wrestling thing, whatever you guys want. I just want to be able to squeeze in the most that we can in this last 20 minutes. Whatever you like while I watch the Ducks try to compete with Ohio State. And shout out to all the people that have supported Huge, Sarah and Shep and Mike and all the rest. You guys are awesome. Well, they have Cardale Jones. Fuck that guy. God, that guy. Cardale Jones. We just never had defense. That's rough. Yeah. You do things that even certain guys don't even do. That's why I love it, because like you just go hardcore, like, fuck it, I'm bored. Let me do this fucking mock draft, and that's why you're in second place in fantasy. Did you think you were going to be second place? Like when you were like drafting, like when it was actually happening, did you think that you were going to have like a good draft? I knew you were going to be able to compete. But if you haven't done one in a couple years, sometimes you do feel a little rusty. You have to kind of think like, okay, who's going to be good this year? And like, and obviously if you're here, you're hearing all the information that I'm saying and what people are saying in the room, and you have your own opinions. But I mean, obviously you're going to get more smart information here than anywhere else. So yeah, I already knew that it was a done deal. I was like, oh, she's going to be good. I was like, she'll be top 3 for sure. Nice play in special teams. You thought top 4? All right, I'm going to start throwing up just like awesome things from both of your guys' teams before you guys decide. Still got a month left for teams to keep tanking, but Texans are only at 1 win, so, and they have a tie as well, so I think it's a done deal. And all their injuries that they have, they're probably going to end the season with 1 or 2 wins, and they're not winning this weekend, not against Kansas City. Like Brandon Cooks is not playing, the rookie running back is not playing, like everyone is out. Hi, honey, I'm almost done. We're going to hang out, it's you and me. Oh, Zeke Elliott is out there. Zeke. Yeah, Bryce Young is going to go Bryce Young will go first overall, more than likely. I mean, if it ends up making, the Houston Texans relevant, I'm all about that life. We need to have guys that are really dynamic and really special to be able to bring up franchises that are just in a fucking rut, So if he ends up being like a Jalen Hurts type of player, Justin Fields, I'm all about that. I hope he does. I hope he kicks ass. The Addams Family, the Wednesday program on Netflix. Is that what you mean? Zeke Elliott is rumbling and bumbling, scoring on the Ducks. Zeke. Extra point is up, and it's good. 7-7. Buckeyes and Ducks. I know signing day is going to be crazy. All right, what else is on NFL football? What do we got here? Bills and Dolphins from earlier this year. Let's watch that. I will be doing the game tomorrow. There we go. That's a good game. A little Bills-Dolphins action. This is when the Buffalo Bills had their fucking meltdown where they couldn't get the snap in time. All right, we got 15 minutes to go, and we can call it a day. Let me know what you guys want to see. I missed this right here. When he was playing, it was different. Yeah, I hope so. Snow games are the best.
Luckily, replacement costumes were shipped with FedEx, which means Mr. Harden could picture the perfect night. We're ready for the holidays, so you're ready for what's next. Introducing Taco Bell's new 7-layer nacho fries.
This rental car is so boring to drive.
Let's be honest. The rent-a-car industry is the definition of boring. And the reason can be found in the name itself. Rent a car? You don't want a friend. You want the friend. You don't want a job. You want the job. The is always over up. That's why we don't offer a car. We offer the car. Six. Rent the car.
We're on a mission to take a lunch.
What's the big prospect that you're looking at possibly getting? Is there anyone that they've been talking about that you've been following? Like there, you have a possibility. I mean, obviously, Alabama's getting the best of the best. Best quarterbacks, best running backs, best offensive line, best of everything.
Ever leave your clothes in the dryer and find a wrinkled mess? Try Downy Wrinkle Guard fabric softener. Wrinkle Guard penetrates deep into fibers, leaving clothes so soft. Wrinkles.
All right, we got 12 minutes to go. Should we get into any food or should we skip that? Do you guys want food at all for the last 10?
It's a Saturday Showdown triple header. Saturday starting at 1, only on NFL Network.
My name is Ashley Cortez, and I'm the founder of the Stay Beautiful Foundation. When I started in 2016, I would go to the post office and literally fill out each person's name on a label. And now at ShipStation, we are shipping 500 beauty boxes a month. It takes less than 5 minutes for me to get all of my labels and get beauty in the hands of women who are battling cancer so much quicker.
ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers. Go to shipstation.com/try and get 2 months free.
With Instacart, you can order anything you need from anywhere. So you can start reach for something sweet? Ooh, cherries. Or ice cream. With sprinkles? Gotta have taffy or something savory. Yeah, we got you. You can shop for everything. The world is your cup. How do you first order it? We deliver.
Game go to the fourth quarter. Buffalo has run 22 plays in that third. Miami just 6. That Miami defense has got to be gassed.
Well, you would think so with the amount of time they've spent on this field. And
Second down 9. That is incomplete. And they're looking for McKenzie. The coverage by Jones. It'll be third down.
well, a couple of the linemen are slow getting up. Looks like. And Broughton is working on his calf. Looked like maybe his calf was cramping up. He was grabbing his own toe, trying to alleviate.
All right, got 10 minutes to go. Try to throw up a couple things for you guys. And if you have any last minute requests of things, just holler and we'll get those up there. Yeah, well, I would assume it's very big because you guys are getting the best players, and you don't want to lose players to Georgia or the other rivals. So it's going to be a big deal. People are going to be paying attention. I mean, especially if you're like the number one recruiting team, of course it's going to be a big deal. There you go. Well, I'm glad we had a successful stream. You know, I was really hoping it's like I wasn't expecting to have like a bunch of people come in, like, you know, have to call this game every single play. I was hoping like, you know, we just have some regulars just come through and we can just hang out. And that's what it ended up being. So I'm glad that panned out on that end. And we got some really amazing, generous donations from Shep and Mike and Sarah and a few others, and ended up making it a very successful stream. Above and beyond what I expected. So I love you guys and appreciate you for that. I'll definitely get some Simpsons in, and I got a few programs to catch up on. Some more reading to do. Heck yeah, man. It's going to be awesome. And then hopefully we'll meet some other, goats that can be with us as a group. And, but like I said, the NASCAR was fun, but you made it so much more enjoyable for me. Like I already knew I was going to have Sarah, there watching, but just to have someone that, that really cares about it, that's hardcore, makes it a lot of fun. Marcos Pineda with a $5. Thank you, brother. Say even Marcos when he's busy, showing love. Thank you, Marcos, my boy. And I appreciate you, man. Those words mean a lot. I try to be a good host, but I try to, just be just genuine and honest and stuff, not have to be someone I'm not. $5 holla, baby, baby, bang, bang, baby. Now I got to throw up some Oregon State for him for tomorrow for good luck. All right, we got Damian Martinez. I got to throw up. We'll look at Ozzy for now. Thank you, Marcos, my boy. And I am actually genuinely rooting for them to beat the Gators. I think it would be really good for their morale and recruiting, and they beat the Ducks. Keep riding that momentum. I'm going to watch tomorrow. Probably won't do a stream for it. We'll just do the Bills and Dolphins tomorrow night. But I'm definitely going to be watching. And I'll be rooting for the Beavers. Yeah, this kid is amazing. Freshman of the year, man. Great player at running back. Wish I had him on the Ducks. Kicked ass. It's always awesome when you see a freshman come in and be like the best. You're like, whoa, this guy must have been real good back in like junior high and high school, like championship material kind of player. And sometimes it's develop, they develop early, some develop a little later. Thank you, Marcos, my boy. Beavers. The Beavers. Oregon State Beavers. And I also love it. Not only do I love you, Mike, because you love college football is like your favorite, but also, the NASCAR, just having that combination, it's always nice. All right, man. No problem. Thank you so much for all your support. I appreciate you. Come through whenever you can. We'll be here. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. Means a lot. Mike is a legend. Marcos is the man. All right. So we're going to, like I said, this will give us a good time that we can end up, just calling it a day, which is, early, but good. It's always nice where we can hit a good number and we don't have to do 4 or 5 hours. So that's always fantastic. So, and I know you've been a little under the weather too. So totally get it. But man, it's nice to be able to have a successful stream when you've had a few that have been pretty tough. So awesome. Let's just go through some of these photos here and then we'll pretty much call it a day. Sarah, great job as usual. Thank you so much for struggling, even with the, sickness and everything coming through and hanging out. I appreciate you tremendously. And we went over a number of different topics and even with some horror stuff, trying to help people with some mental health and get a little Metallica in here. Well, Anthrax for Mike. Metallica. Jovi. Some more Bon Jovi. The Jovi. The Ozzy. And then give some support to my boy, Marcos, with the $5. Yeah, great night. And it's just nice that we can end on our terms. And I don't, you would still go, but I would probably go for another hour or two just because sometimes you got to keep pushing, and sometimes things don't pan out like maybe you hope so. But yeah, thank you so much for all your guys' hard work, all the people that donated. We ended up having a great stream. I wish the Blazers would have been able to win. Final score, Blazers, Mavericks 130, Blazers 110. So that is definitely tough, but I know that they'll be able to bounce back. But again, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Marcos, good luck tomorrow against the Florida Gators. I will be watching. Definitely. I'll be rooting for you, even though I love rooting for the Florida Gators. But in this particular matchup, rooting for you guys to try to make history and do something good for your recruiting in state, I'm rooting for you. So I hope you do a great job and hopefully you guys get a dub. And thank you guys. I love you. Appreciate you. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.